Alright, that's alright. So when we last left our group of adventurers and in some cases mercenaries, you just finished not just you had continued your battle against that avatar of a demon lord, upon which you actually succeeded in defeating them. However, upon making and after finding the hoard of treasures and the such, and making your way back up into the cave itself, you found that the angels had actually disappeared. Whereupon, you just let's see here. Afterwards, with the assistance of some of the berserkers, gathering all the money and the such, and bringing them over into these to the cave, or rather no, outside, and also the help of a new possible ally in the form of PF or Wolstek. I'll get it done eventually. But with their assistance, you managed to get it all out. You eventually took your carriage back to the town, and after some stops and the such, you made your way into the hotel where you were greeted by a stranger. And with that, the adventure continues. So, as you all enter the hotel, or not the hotel, the inn, you actually are greeted by a unfamiliar voice. Hello, are you, Noralai, Flint, Hajime, and Vera?
Yeah, that's us.
You turn and see a gnome man, about average height for a gnome, with wearing some looks like a simple robes and rather a slightly larger than normal for his size glasses. He appears to be carrying what looks like several folders as he turns to each of you. As he turns to the group as in general and says, good. I'm a representative of this branch of the Seven Nobles Guild. I was assigned to I've come to inform you of a slight what's the technical term? Promotion, yes, in the Seven Nobles Guild organization.
Promotion?
Yes, the group in general. Due to your actions in managing to save off a demonic avatar, the guild has sought it appropriate that your group be given certain, what's the technical term, benefits, so as to better represent the guild in general and as such yourselves.
What are those benefits? Out of curiosity.
Yes. Well, for one, you would be working not. You're still retaining your membership into the guild, of course, but you would also technically be leading your own. What is the term? Not subset. No, that'd be incorrect. Yes, your own branch of the Seven Nobles Guild organization as a whole. Essentially, congratulations, your own corporate entity, your own guild entity that works under the name of the Seven Nobles Guild for other things. It doesn't seem like much, but it's quite the advancement, and I'm very envious of you. Not many people in this line of work achieve such a prominent promotion.
So, what now guild on us? Yes?
Yes. Oh, right. He sort of hands each. He sets it down on the table he was originally sitting in at several files. In here, should have all of the information in regards to the promotion, as well as any of the legal terms, and of course the pay raise and the such, as well as other possible benefits you may choose to gain.
So
All
there's
the information will be provided there. Is provided in there.
Dear Professor Brown says, not that I'm not that we're not ungrateful, but do we real, but is this something that we really have the opportunity to do? Doesn't this kind of bureaucracy typically involve staying in one place and managing a bunch of finances and such?
Usually, yes. But for the assignments you have been given, such things can be given some sort of flexibility, as gathering certain, well, objects of magical potential is does require some form of leeway in terms of transportation. So as such, again, all of the if you want any more detailed information, it's all listed in these files for each of you. That is, if you choose to accept. Of course, it is optional. Though with your recent public, with all of you reaching the public eye, some of you more than others, it might be good to have a sort of, I suppose, safety net. Would be some would be a way of saying it.
A safety net?
Yes.
Oh,
How do I say this? The guild
fi-
itself covers a vast array of, well, expenditures. But now you're in the public eye, and as such, well, we are technically a public entity,
we,
which means most of our expenditures are public, which means people can find you and more easily, well, not easily, but can try to pin you down as to at least which region you are in the world. That being said,
so
if you were private
I-
entities, you would have, then the problem would not exist.
it's a it's a financial loophole
Yes, exactly.
by by us having our own branch, we become our own entities, therefore protecting us from the prying eye.
Yes, you would still have to fill out. You're already doing it with those unfortunate amount of paperwork, but but you would actually have some privacy, and as such, no one could legally actually gain any information as to your travels, thereby ensuring that you have a veil of anonymity towards you.
I get you. So Norlai will begin reading over the documents, and
Uh,
uh,
I'll definitely I'll definitely take one.
yeah. So
As will I.
yeah, Norlai being a well-rounded businesswoman, she'll read any sort of like anything of like insight to this thing, seeing if like
All right, go ahead.
any noticeable details. So it's gonna be
Her
investigation.
mo-
It would be an insight, actual, or no, yeah, it would be investigation, but in your case, with advantage.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Would I
I
also
got a plus 11. No, it's an investigation plus 1. 11.
Master, you're saying? Master, are you there?
Master.
hello?
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, what were you saying? My apologies.
Oh, firstly, it would be investigation because you're scouring over the legal document from head to toe.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Uh,
that's completely fair. I was just saying, like, And like, I was making a joke of like, you said insight, that's plus 11 investigation. Oh, that's only a plus 1.
Still,
So now
if you'd like to,
my my second question. My I'm a noble from a noble birth. My mother would have hounded to always read the contract and to understand what some of these news words or this business speak meant.
Yeah.
Would I also have advantage?
uh, yes.
Hopefully you do better than I do.
Well, considering uh, an expert in investigation.
Sure. I kid. I kid.
Oh, uh, with my 12 to investigation.
Oh, fuck you.
Watch him roll a natural one. Nice. 25. Look through. Okay, so. And, Flora, would Vera like to do anything regarding reading the contract? For anything particular?
Sure, I'll do it.
What would you like to do?
I'll look it over to I'll peruse it to see if to get a basic understanding out to get as in-depth an understanding of it as possible.
Alright. So, investigation then. 27. Alright.
Everyone
So starting off,
better than the
Norlai. You look through, it looks like there is one thing that's a bit odd. Apparently they cover, I mean, aside from the really nice things, like covering dental and having an actual health insurance, for one, and life insurance. Wow, that's a really big life insurance policy. Good lord. What are they expecting you to find you in? What sort of state are they expecting you to find you in?
What are their life insurance policies on resurrection?
Resurrection, it covers to the actual resurrection spell, but does not cover true resurrection.
So wait, we get a free. If we were to die, we get a resurrection.
No. Basically, if you purchase the material components for the resurrection spell, or if you go to someone who offers resurrection, you'd only be paying a smaller amount. You'd only be paying 30% of the actual thing, but while the guild themselves are covering most of the rest.
So it's a
Just resurrection, or does it cover revivify as well?
Revivify is also covered.
Yeah. Revivify
Can I get does the contract cover pre-existing expenses regarding that?
It actually, surprisingly enough,
or does it only pay out once the spell is cast?
it is. You have to. Sorry, tongue twisted. You have to basically fill it in, add it in for the basically what I tend to skip out the expense report. Sorry, you have to mention it in the expense report.
Yeah, essentially you gotta.
Once you get paid, it would add. Oh, what the hell?
What?
Sorry. In addition to what you already set down in terms of monetarily for the resurrection, it would give you not only the base pay you would get, but also the amount of portion of the money that they cover.
It's an insurance policy.
Yeah, basically.
It's a really shitty one where you still have to pay 70% of the cost for it, but it's better than nothing, I guess.
They also cover full dental, though.
It doesn't matter. It's like paying for full dental, but you go in for a doctor's appointment, and you still have to pay your 2/3 of it. Doctor's visits are expensive.
This is the price. Yeah, this is the price. Keep in mind, they originally they would actually cover everything. It would have already, but because you're technically your own entity, they would only cover a smaller portion of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in like most countries, then they would get in trouble.
Yeah.
This is the most they're able to offer.
Yeah. You also gotta remember we're essentially becoming an adventurers guild. Like they know how dangerous an adventurer would be. If they paid out big time for every time someone died, the adventurer guild would be broke.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you gotta remember, we just killed two avatars. We just killed our second demonic avatar. We're not your traditional adventurers.
Yeah, still, but you're still adventurers in the eyes of the guild, where it's just like, yeah, there's a possibility that you might die. There's still a high possibility you might die. We're not gonna pay out the ass if you do.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. In addition to that, you also receive certain training not available to the public. That being things offered in Acquisitions Incorporated.
I get it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's what the 25 and 27 investigations.
Well, that was actually with the 11. With the 25, doesn't look like there's anything hinky. About the only thing remotely odd is the mention of, oddly enough, not covering anything you find on the job, like say, let's see here. Anything you find on the job, like say dragon hordes or demonic hordes or what have you, do not count for or against your payment that you'd get at post assignment. However, of course, donations to churches are tax deductible up to a certain point. But yes,
how deductible is like what's the tax write-off here?
Essentially, it's a solid 10% of all taxes in the setting. In some cases, removing all taxes in one region, such as Erether, removing all taxes.
Jesus Christ!
However,
a 10% flat decrease in. Oh my God! That's you do not know how.
Yeah.
You don't. That is so good.
There is also there's also a listed thing where if you alternatively, instead of donating on occasion to churches, you can invite one into your group, into your guild, to effectively, function as like a divine, according to something that was implemented by the Veroni Union, because of course they would. Basically, a divine oversight. You can invite a clergyman or clergywomen or any servant of the church in exchange for them being essentially being like a theological representation of your guild, would also count for that 10% tax write-off.
Ooh.
So you can either be completely free but have to occasionally donate to a church, or you can choose to have a single church represent you, and they would offer you certain additional resources that the clergy themselves would not normally have available to you.
I'm down for that second option.
Here's the thing: they do not have any say in terms of what your organization does or what your group does. They're just there for support. However, they can back out if they do not feel comfortable with it. Yeah. Think of it like investors.
They're 100% investors. There
is no separation between church and state in the Avrani Union.
They're just there.
They're a theocratic republic.
They're there just for a tax write-off. And let me tell you, someone who has now, I'll be very only studied the stock market and taxes very small, very like just a tiny bit. A 10% flat tax deduction off of everything is incredible. That goes for state. That goes or assuming state, local, governmental, like
It
everything.
does.
If there was gas, you'd have a 10% tax write off on gas. That's incredible. I am as
It
someone
doesn't.
who
In my opinion, it doesn't necessarily.
Doesn't
go you
yeah,
In the health, it does decrease the makes it doesn't make up for the decrease in the healthcare, but healthcare write off. But it's something.
that's incredibly good. How much? So how much would you have to spend to get that if you were just donating to a church?
It depends on from region to region. In
In
the Avrana
the
Union, about let's see here. All right, about 1,500 platinum for the in the Avrana Union because they're greedy. Depends on the church as well. On average, about like 500 platinum.
and how long does that go for? A quarter? Uh,
About half a quarter.
half a quarter? Huh? That's
That's and that's the average. If you find a church that accepts less, you can make up for. You can essentially put down both and put down like you can put down twice the amount that they would have, and it would count for both quarters. You can't overpay and have it bleed off into the
yeah.
second half of the quarter.
So you can pay off in advance if you wanted to, if you feel more comfortable doing that too. So
yeah.
Essentially, yes.
I mean, for 3 months of a 10% flat tax deduction, that's really good.
yeah,
And I will, upon reading this,
There's one
she's
last thing you do notice.
oh
Let's see here. Let's see here. Due to international conflict with demons, obviously all of the whole tax deduction would be revoked. It should, if you have a church person, if you have somebody from a church representative traveling with you, or if a church finds out about it, if you are either serving or working with a demonic entity, the church does have the right to revoke
but
the write-off.
here's the thing. There's
Now, if you're
churches such as
if you're researching certain demonic entities, that's fine. Just
but
don't work with them.
but there's the Church of Asmodeus.
They're
The
devils, not demons.
yeah.
so you can work with demons, but you can work
Devils,
with
not demons.
you can work with devils, but you can't work with demons.
Yes.
It's essentially in their eyes they essentially see like demons as true evil, where it's just they just don't want.
With devils, you can barter with them. Demons, all they care about is strength, and in a case by case basis, it's better that you have a malevolent entity that you can actually bargain with than some entity that just wants to destroy you unless you're strong.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you are bargaining with it. You're just a different type.
Yes, just not the legal type.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is one last thing I almost forgot to mention.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yes, here it is. So, if you have any discoveries you make will regarding of course, the items you're searching for, they will be put under your name, but technically it is the Seven Nobles Guild that discovered them. You are simply the individuals who discovered them.
All right. Are you
The faction in general.
So I get it. Under the faction it's the Seven Nobles Guild, but we kind of have an
You're a
addendum star.
subsidiary.
We just kind of like an it just we just have an asterisk by in the records that's like, oh, this was technically found by this party. Yeah.
Alright.
Yes, and any possible. Oh, sorry.
I was about to say, so this falls underneath the category of any item, even if it was something created by the person.
If it has something to do with the artifact, the keys you are finding, which is unlikely because they're literally just keys. But if that were to ever happen, then yes.
So any item. So even if it was created by the person, it would still be technically, even though the person.
Oh no! If you made the items, that's completely different. If they're talking about if the artifact or the key artifacts you're finding have any create, like say another magical item, you do not get you until you return it to the guild as you're supposed to. It is not yours. If you're just using it for transportation in order to get from point A to point B, that's fine. They just need it back. They just need it eventually.
Alright, so that's fine. So I was like, alright, that's the legal loophole I was worried about. So any magical item that's created by the keys or any artifacts that we may find is technically theirs until like.
As long as it's related to these these key artifacts.
Yeah. Alright. So
Yes.
That's fine. That's understandable.
If like a key is like say a key splits into two different pieces, both of those are part of the same. Like it's just to protect them.
Yeah, I get you. I understand. I was.
That covers the general, like any possible odd things. Now, for Vera, in regards to just the general understanding of the contract, like I mentioned before, your own entities, slight changes in that stuff, there is a pay increase. You are now going to be paid after the recovery and delivery of these key artifacts. Your pay increase has changed from 5,000 to 10,000 per artifact. 10,000 platinum, mind you.
Each
Person, yes.
That's a lot. That is a fucking.
That's oh my gosh, that is oh I can work with that.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I want this.
Like if I found a key, immediately I would put that in business because like that's more than Norl I made in 5 years of working and making alcohol.
Yes, though keep in mind, due to the reports, finding these keys may prove suicidal.
Yes, and
so that is with the hazard pay.
So the only thing left is it said that we have more access to knowledge. Do we have further access into the forbidden tomes in the Noble Guild?
They if you put in the press, well, essentially your technical rank. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Here it is. I'll type in your character's rank in the guild.
Yeah. Because
okay.
Like if you want something specific, you would have to request it regardless, and then be a proper rank to be able to get access to it.
Because they're an archaeological guild. They've been collecting knowledge since before they officially formed.
There you go. Lexicon 4.
So I'm assuming it's like the military where you have Lexicon 3, 2, 1, and then a whole nother rank above that.
Yes. Essentially, first rank, starting rank is Gopher, or technically the starting rank for anyone in the guild are Gophers. Your stock standard, just moves. Second rank is Researcher. Obviously, your field or other things like that, they can do that. Or they can just stay and get a generally okay payment.
Yeah, but essentially I think think I get the idea. If we want to I'd say if we want a major list, just copy and paste the list so we can just get like an idea of like the progression from like.
And then there's all, and let me just finish up. Then there's Seekers, which is what you were. Originally, you guys were Seeker 1s. Now you've been promoted to Lexicon 4s.
Okay, so
And
how
then it's
many
Lexicon.
is Lexicon the highest?
Nope.
How many more do we have to that we have the ability to advance?
All the way to Lexicon 1. And then after that, well, that rank is for for extremely old leaders of the guild. Like they have an entire they own the entire branch in a certain region. However, those are separated by 6. And then there's the final one. Sorry, there's above Lexicon. It's let's see here. It's lore hound, and finally it's Watcher. Watcher obviously being the person who actually who's basically overseeing the entire guild.
Yeah.
So okay, so the tier above us is for people with seniority.
Yes, and who own a branch in an entire region of the world, or an entire region of a country.
Okay, so we just got like a small promotion now. How do we advance to like Lexicon ones?
Lexicon, well, first Lexicon 3, and then so on. But it will depend on the effectiveness and as well as how well you maintain your public image.
Essentially, how much can you be a benefit to the guild?
Yes.
Like depending on how much you benefit, you might progress quicker than others.
Yes, as well as your general public relations and all that stuff. I mean, from basic understanding, it's quite simple, but considering how the public tends to act, and considering the entities you'll end up facing, you can understand the challenge in certain parts.
So we just have to keep a good public opinion long enough, and we get a rank increase.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that
does keep in mind public, like depending on the region, like which country you're in, not doing anything that's taboo in their eyes.
Yeah.
Here in the Running Union, just don't associate with demons and don't and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Essentially, keep a good public eye. Don't break the laws of the land, and you'll progress quickly.
Yes. Otherwise, you will be demoted and you will lose the benefits.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but only if it's particularly bad.
Yeah, you gotta fuck up real hard.
Yeah, you have to like make a pact with the demon or something to do that.
Yeah, but all right. So
Okay.
I think it's pretty obvious that we're gonna sign these contracts because it's like it is.
There is one other thing.
Oh boy.
There is
There's
the
always-
option. There is the whole thing with specialization. Again, skills. There's also the other thing of specialization. Skills and knowledge that the public isn't exactly entirely aware of.
How so?
Well, again, it'll list all the options there. Feel free to look them up in the document, in the PDF document, or in the Roll20.
Oh,
But effectively,
the specializations are the acquisitions incorporated classes.
oh, not classes, but
extensions.
Yeah.
I call them extensions. That's what I would do.
yeah, extensions. That being said,
It's pseudo classes.
yeah, that being said, it is limited to technically all 5 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta take a look at them because
You can't.
What
You can't. Your cohort, your compatriots cannot receive any training from any of this.
Yeah, it makes sense unless they were to, no longer become companions and actually start devoting their life to business.
I mean, they are, but the thing is,
I mean financial business, not like
Well,
guild
yeah,
business.
they have to receive seniority
Yeah.
in some cases.
All right. So.
So,
But Nora really doesn't care. She's just here to make sure that Vera doesn't end up getting herself killed,
Yeah.
as per her code of honor.
Yeah. Norlai just kind of joined because she was asked highly too, and she just more or less cares about running her own business, and just was like, all right, I get nice benefits for
Yeah.
anyways too. This is a nice backup.
It does list the training period before they essentially before you can be certified under that sort of specialization for your branch of the guild. Essentially, you need to complete at least a 1 week training, which the guild will obviously compensate you for. Uh, it will only take it's only like how to put this. It's only like 3 hour classes, essentially, where they teach you the basics and things like that, and of course PR and anything. So you will have time in that 1 week period to say train or research information or just purchase something.
Yeah.
You already do have. You are also gain access to something else due to you having, according to records, a carriage. They do have. They do have options. Listed stores that they have for you to possibly have them upgrade it.
hmm.
Yeah, that is nice. But all right, I'm taking a look at the specialist stuff. I'm trying to remember what probably fitted Norlai best, being a businesswoman herself and owning a brewery
I
already.
don't think it was Documancer.
Yeah, it was a document.
I
I think it was decisionist because essentially I think that's like you are the main owner of the business, kind of deal.
well,
Your decision makes the most weight. You're not necessarily the owner.
but
You're a joint owner, but your vote for something counts as twice.
your vote for
It's 2 votes.
All right,
yeah.
so which one would fit better than decisionist then?
I'm back.
Hello, welcome
What,
back.
what did I miss?
We're just talking about the
Uh,
accreditation into
What
corporation.
part? What part cut off on your end?
It didn't cut off. I said I had to go because there's a problem.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. Then basically, you can decide on essentially certain positions in your. I don't want to say company, technically your own sub guild, which gives you certain specializations like documenter, decisionist, occultant. It's all listed in the PDF document, which I believe is still there.
Yeah, it's way up there. I gotta hold on. I can just actually repost it.
Yeah.
I'll
In
post it.
order to actually be certified for any of this, you will have to receive basically 3 hour classes over the course of a week, which you'll have to schedule to basically, be certified, and as such, you'll get the level 1 things there.
I personally think Vera would be great for the Observator because that's like dealing with alchemy already.
Honestly, I thought you would have preferred occultant because
No, I'm
she's
saying
ripping things
like
apart.
No, it's like saying for Vera, not for
Oh,
Huntsman.
Vera, my apologies. I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah.
no for Hajime, I was thinking of either hordes person or secretariat.
All right, I'll be
I think it was. Wait, hold on. I think it was horse person for Norlai
it,
because her thing was organizing currency and all that.
it might have been. I'll be right back. I think I got called by my dad real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. There are other options there as well.
Yeah, see. I'm liking the Documancer because that's like legal doc. That's like legal new like business speak. How can
I thought you were going to go
how
for secretarian.
it's either if Norlai is taken hordes person, which probably for the best, seeing as she's terrible with money. Uh but not with taxes. She overspends. She's yeah. but I was either thinking of Documenter or Secretary. Secretary would be great for the face of the party, and seeing as how I have like naturally high charisma and expertise in persuasion,
I
and
actually,
like we're
I actually have a 20 in charisma, and I've actually built my character around persuasion originally.
True.
yeah,
A lot of charisma characters in this group.
yeah,
There are
okay,
other options as well. So keep that in mind.
yeah.
So I might actually go for that.
Go ahead.
That or the research one. Not sure.
Uh,
I don't really.
Observator.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think.
really. I'm not really knowledgeable enough at the moment to really say for sure.
Well, the decision you make is for like by next week you can finalize your decision. For now, we're just covering like what you have, what's offered, essentially. Yeah.
Mm,
Let's see here. There is also yes. So where was it? So yeah, you will receive the option of hiring later on two untrained hirelings, but you and only they would send you at least one skilled hireling, but you already have three. Excuse me, three skilled hirelings.
mm. This is just for like the grunt work.
Yeah, essentially you'll be getting your own. What's the technical term? Um, No, not secretary. What is it? Intern. Yes.
And oh, we get in. How interesting. Uh,
Yeah, you'll be receiving your own intern, basically untrained intern,
mm. Can we
or two
train them
untrained
in?
interns.
So we can train them in a specific skill set, right? Like if
Essentially, yes. They will not get the stuff offered by the aforementioned. They cannot be decisionist or documenter or cartographer or anything like that, but they can be like they can like drive the vehicle or say essentially be focused on like the lawyer work.
mhm. I think I'll go with Documancer if Vera's going to take Secretariat.
I've returned with food.
Hello, welcome back with the food.
Yeah, but yeah, you might have been right with the herd person because it was like she's really good with keeping stock of inventory and just making sure that everyone's properly paid. So that might be
Yeah,
the best role for her.
Hajime does know her way around the contract.
There's also Loremonger, and yeah, that's all about
Loremonger.
lore. Yeah, which I don't think Norla is all about.
Yeah, she's smart, but she's not smart enough for that kind of stuff. She doesn't pay any interest unless that lore involves alcohol. She really doesn't care.
Actually, hold on. You confirm. No, it's just. Oh yeah, it's just general lore.
Yeah, like
So yeah, Flint, if no one will take it, will take Loremonger or Occultant.
alright, so I'm gonna start putting in rank one because I know we're gonna get the week downtime anyways. I just need to put it in before I forget that I got this stuff.
Yes, and the classes are generally quite. They're not particularly stressful. They're actually people who teach it, well, just for the sake of expediency, are quite lively in their area of expertise. Except for in strangely enough, even the occultant, even though they have a rather dull and monotone voice at all times.
Yeah, and this actually works out pretty good because it also gives me dual proficiency because I can tie in with Norlai's a little bit background of like just with our parents because mother deal with enchantment and stuff would probably teach like would have taught Norlai
Yes, and it also allows you to create create magical jewelry as well
yeah, pretty
because
cool.
Yeah. So Hajime is choosing what again?
Documancer.
Okay. And Vera is going for which one? It's from what I'm reading, the one. Okay. Take your time, and let's see here. So, yeah, I'll leave it to make that decision. Pun not intended decision. Pun definitely not intended. I am so sorry.
What? So what's the there's horse person, documancer, and what did Vera take?
Still deciding.
She is still deciding.
Bouncing back and forth. That's always fun.
Yeah, it's fine. But in terms of ones that have not been taken, unless Hajime has made a decision, cartographer, which is the purpose that it fills is there. There's decisionist, which you already went over. Let's see, the one that has not been picked out. Loremonger, which is where you store, record, how do you say? You record conversations, as well as you're the knowledge person. You record names, dates, and vital information regarding the history of your guild. Obviator, you're like the focused on studying target, studying conflicts, and destroying targets. Oh, that's really dark. Occultant, you're supposed to track kills, assess the value of the franchise of the living and the dead. Basically, the life insurance policy person. Good God.
Yeah.
What's the life insurance policy person?
Occultant, basically tracking kills and assessing the value of the people who are alive and the people that are dead.
Right.
Essentially, you're keeping track of what's worth of everyone, whether they are living or have died.
Yeah,
That's pretty grim.
as well as cause of death and all that stuff. Secretarian, you extract information and assess the strengths and weaknesses of others, as well as creating bonds with other individuals internationally or locally. Oh yeah, and Horde person gets a actual living loot satchel, which functions as a bag of holding, but it's sentient. And you can actually have it take a different form if you'd like. Oh, that's nice.
Mm.
So if you are final on your decision regarding Horde's person, what would you like your living loot satchel to take the form of? Because for all effective explanations, they are former mimics, or they're mimics technically, but they have been enchanted, and their form has been modified magically, and the behavior same deal, to a point where they're more like little dogs than anything else.
Oh, you're talking about the loot satchel?
Yes, the living loot satchel.
You don't get them until rank 2. We're only rank 1, right?
Yeah, my bad. But
I was just checking. It was like...
I'm just explaining prior to that. So they're like little doggies.
I'm definitely married to the documancer.
Your favorite oh god, what's your favorite method of destroying documents? Oh god.
As
I
of
love
right,
the mimic shredder. I love it, honestly, in my opinion.
I would want to get like an actual mimic for that first.
They can provide you one.
Oh my gosh, how amazing would it be? Like a little tiny mimic that's just there to shred your things.
As somebody who's had to go through a lot of paperwork, a paper shredder is wonderful.
Yeah. If they provide like a tiny mimic, oh, definitely. That would just be so adorable.
It would be one that would have been mutated and magically changed to have its diet consist primarily of paper.
Inked paper. I can.
Yes, ink and paper, but also the occasional like rat, if occasional vermin like flies or rats.
Ooh.
Keep it away from me.
Ha. I get the joke.
Hmm. Well, either way, I will have to DM Armored to determine what he would like, and also fill him in on who chose what if they have already, as well as possibly yeah. So in that case, we'll say that until next week when we meet up again. For your in-game, your character's week, what would you like to spend the week doing?
Well, I need to. Did we take a long rest after last game? Is it the
Yes.
next? So it's the next day.
After you make your way back into the inn, and after you've been given the information, yes.
Okay.
They also
Because
inform. Oh, he also informs you that the primary guild hall, which here in this city of the in the Avrana Union, which is where you're going to like drop off, like any information or anything like that, will be open in about in about 4 days.
okay.
So
So
they'll just So they're just keeping up to date with that stuff.
Yeah, so
I
definitely. Sorry, you go first, I guess.
I have a class I need to attend to for a couple of hours. That's the sensitivity training.
Yes, the draconic sensitivity training for your proficiency in dragon slayer bows.
And then after that's done, I need to. There's a feat, the expert feat, or the what's it called? Fuck. The one that craftsman can do. The one that gets the exotic proficiency feat.
Yes, you have to finish the sensitivity training class, and before you can actually receive the training,
Yeah, which then.
because
Ah,
politicians and also the history of the weapons usage throughout the years.
So we're spending more than a week in town because of this, because you need to do.
Well, no, you'll only be spending the week unless you want to spend more time to do something
Well,
else.
that's what I'm trying to figure
yeah.
out. If fucking my brain is blank. Hajime wants to fucking make sure to get all this shit done before leaving town. I wouldn't mind spending an extra week of more
Yeah.
downtime to before.
They will say that. Yeah, they do say that by the end of the week, at the point where where you would finish your training, they would have the exact. They would have. They would receive the exact location of the next key artifact.
Okay. So I'll plan out
So
my.
you can leave by the end of your training. However, you can decide to take like a few more days or even another week to prepare if you feel that would be best.
Yeah. I could definitely foresee. So how long will that sensitivity training take?
Only about 2 days.
Okay. So five.
But they're like 4 hour. They're like 4 hour things, full on classes.
Okay.
Which anyone who's had to take a 4 hour class can attest. It's can be quite soul draining.
Only 4 hours. I'm envious.
Yes, though keep in mind it's going over.
It's racial. It's a racial sensitivity
The
class.
species racial sensitivity of in terms of dragons, which understandable considering the topic that you will be choosing. Dragon slaying weapons.
How does that even work? Like I never
The
even heard. Like I don't even know how those things work in real life.
dragons, racial sensitivity things, or
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially going over the from I've had to attend several, not because any problems, no, it's because of some problem with like a apparently some supervisor before I was even there. Like there's a whole drama, but essentially they go over like, oh hey, here's things you should keep in mind and not say it in front of such and such people, or
Like,
hey,
like saying this in this context is offensive. Don't do that.
I'm actually kind of curious about this now, like in character.
it really depends on the I guess technically the group giving the class because they can actually be quite insightful and otherwise, but some of them can be quite condescending. Like, hey, such and such, you're only in such and such position because of this, and really, those are the kinds of saturation sensitivity things that I generally, from what I've had to flip through in terms of teaching things, because we're still doing that in the company, even though the problem hasn't happened before. Anyways, basically, there's good and bad racial sensitivity things. It's a case by case basis.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm.
Zero will offer to sit in on it with you.
Oh.
Alright.
But yeah,
Sure. So I have my week pretty well planned out already.
and then the rest he could do on travel essentially.
I for the time being, if it takes more time, then yeah. Well, I'm going to spend the 2 days training, but on one of those days, I'm going to go back to that week ley line and talk to my patron and be like, "Yo, I we've killed two avatars. I'm going to I need to ask for more power."
Alright, so a bargain. Alright, PM me what your general conversation, and over the week, you can, when you have like, basically what your character says, all planned out, I'll tell you what role it is, and depending on what you say, the DC may be lower or it may be higher, or it might just
Okay.
stay the same.
Yeah. So I'll do that on one of the days, and then on the third day, I get my the second or third day, I get my certificate. I'm going to bring that to the shopkeep to the craftsman, and I passed. Do I need a roll for the sensitivity training? Is it pass
Nope, not it.
fail?
No, it's. I'll just say. Basically, it's just whether or not you remember the information, all that.
Pass fail.
Yeah, and also
Okay.
whether it's honestly it's just you appearing there and actually listening.
Okay. Simple questions like, don't is this offensive to this type of dragon? And I'd imagine it goes to like kobolds and dragonborn half
And half
dragons.
dragons and all that. Yeah.
It's
Actually,
not
there
just
is. You also receive. Almost forgot before I end up forgetting. By the end of the, I'll say this. In the middle of the week, you do receive two things. One of the unskilled hirelings, who well, let me just pull up the name exactly because I keep on forgetting the name for this character. But I will just post what they look like as. Oh, come on. What do you. Nah. Jeez. Uh, Pardon me. It's doing this thing again where it says, "Oh, hey, it's not we cannot show you to because internet connection. Oh, wait, we can show it to you because internet connection. Oh, and just going back and forth, and it's just a nuisance." But you do receive a person who, if you'll scroll up a bit, above Matt's Duke, saying, "I'm going to head to sleep. that's generally what they look like.
Okay.
That's generally what they look like. They appear to be like wearing simple leather armor, have like a small short sword strapped to their hip, and honestly, just a very odd person, odd looking. You think dragon? It's kind of hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. It's never really seen this type of person, and they appear to be carrying like in front of them what looks like some sort of carrier or strap-on carrier.
Wait. The. Oh. I know
Essentially,
exactly.
he will
I
explain
know.
to you the situation due to your guild essentially saving his tribe from the clutches of a void dragon and void giant. He has taken upon himself to join the guild and has been assigned to your group, and has also been assigned to deliver to you a very special present. As he
Um.
presents it to your group, is a void dragon egg.
What now?
A void dragon egg.
So. What would I be able to? Dragon eggs. They take a long time to develop.
I'm gonna arcana
Full.
the heck out of that.
If you want to know like how long it'll take for this egg to hatch, that'll be an Arcana or Nature, whichever you prefer.
Or nature.
Arcana or Nature, yes, because
So.
yes, while they are a magical creature, the amount of time it takes for an egg,
29.
it really varies from dragon to dragon. So yeah,
And that's really relatively poorly.
Yeah, I'm not.
here it is, Sitar.
Yeah, mine's
That.
good for whatever reason.
All right, so 29 and a 19. Both of you can tell that this egg will hatch about 20 years, which is odd. Actually, looking at it, judging by, well, and also according to the information the Satar, let's see here, who is known as Agaret. He explains that the general gestation time for an egg is about 50 years. This one is about 30 years in.
Is there any way to expedite it? And I was going to roll nature, so add like add a +5 to that 19.
Right. I will also further explain, if you want to know, roll to see what you know about void dragons. I'll just outright say you've never heard of what a void dragon is. Then you've also never heard of what this mountain is.
These two are completely new entities. There's no way we're going to be able to identify either of the two.
Yes. So his name is Agaret. I will make his character sheet available to you under compatriots, but under a new folder in your individual campaign called Lackeys, which are essentially going to be your go for tier ranked cohorts.
Do they come in skilled in anything, or are they just commoner stats?
Not commoner stats. They are only they're skilled. They're basically like a level 1 character. In his case, a level 1 fighter.
Okay.
So he can do like some less dangerous missions that your party really can't be bothered to deal with. Or you can have him do something like pick up a package for you in a specific location.
Okay.
Yes. And Alex, what do you have in mind for Norway?
For the week of downtime.
Yes, when you're not, going through the training.
All right. I got I'm gonna be training for that Riper Drinker feat, but I also wanna start working on making harder liquors, like really strong stuff.
Yeah. What do I need to roll for? How long and what do I need to roll for the exotic proficiency feat?
That will require a general dexterity because you're not proficient in this sort of weapon. It's basically like hours and hours of training.
Okay. I'll roll that when I gain access to my character again to the roll 20. I accidentally closed out of it.
Oh,
That's completely understandable. And Flutter, what would you like Vera to do over the course of the week until they receive the exact location of the key, or given the exact location of the key?
I think I think I'll take it a little bit easy. I so I will take take a little bit of downtime, but I do think I will still look at that uh put a little bit more research into that file into that potion I made.
All right. All right, noted. And is there anything you else in addition to that, or just that? If you decide to add in any more in the future, please let me know. But just asking now, preemptively.
Oh right, I was going to look into wasn't God, what's his name? Uh,
Benor?
no. Yes, on it. That's on it. Oh yeah, wasn't Lucius Helper in here somewhere?
Lucius?
Yeah.
Keep forgetting the name. Which character is that? I have so many characters listed.
Servant of the Oracle.
Yes, I'm forgetting that. Yes, he is He is available. He's not resting in the same inn as you. He's basically He's still like in the local inquisitorial office. So if you'd like to speak to him, by all means.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you guys would like your compatriots or your new lackey to do? You can have your lackey just stay and take care of the egg, as he has been doing, if you'd prefer. Or you can have your allies try to learn how to properly take care of this egg from him.
Yeah, teaching someone to specifically help take care of the egg and find out how to make it hatch maybe sooner than 20 years would be a good idea.
That would be, or at most you can have two of them try to learn from Agaret. Because too many, and then because if there's too many people, he can't do his job. He does definitely elaborate. He's male. He is. Doesn't. It's. How do I put this? He is a very direct person. Suffice to say.
Well,
Doesn't exactly understand your sort of this world's odd habits of like not saying what you want to say and not saying what you mean. Basically, he doesn't understand what it is to lie, as well as certain social cues and things like that. But that aside, yeah.
Sometimes being direct is good, though.
Yeah. But on occasion, I'll just outright say there have been cases where he's outright blatantly insulted somebody, like saying, "You smell terrible, stop it." you should take a bath, or why is that lady consuming so much alcohol? Don't they know it's not going to hide the fact that their spouse is having an affair behind their backs?
So very blunt,
Uh,
very blunt.
Yes, to an
maybe.
actual to a point of it being an actual flaw.
Yeah, that's more blunt than freaking ratchet. Jeez.
Yeah.
Lord.
But yeah, perfectly okay with that.
All right.
But hey, that's a perfect guy that has alcohol. And be like, what do you think? Tastes nasty. All right, I'll fix it.
Well, yes, but also yes. Centauri actually can consume alcohol. It's just that they consider it compared to humans, they're actually lightweights in compared to humans.
Oh,
So they have a very
Oh.
weak tolerance to it
so
because their
it's essentially
species doesn't has never even the race has not even developed
oh
alcohol.
god, I could just imagine handing them a shot.
Basically, to put it into perspective, they were slaves. They were tribal slaves, basically. Any anything to do with metal work was provided to them by the giants who served with the dragons.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, void dragons are the first recorded and recently discovered species of dragons that is not hostile with giants of any kind. In fact, there's a subset of giants that exists in tandem with and cooperatively with void dragons.
Yeah.
The idea is that creatures in the void stick together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so do you want us to get some of the rules out of the way because I know like I have normalized start making alcohols during the day and then training the rapid drinker at night essentially.
Yes,
How
fine.
what? How many rolls do I need to make?
In
Uh,
your case,
I made one, the 20. The
let's
the
see.
nine the nine was from earlier or something. I only clicked the dex
Modify
once.
20. We'll count
Uh,
both of them because those are both what you need. Sure,
whatevs.
it will take much more than just 5 checks, though.
Natural 20.
But that's a good progress. So roll
How
roll 2 more times. All right. So you have made about. Let's see here. You've made 4 points of progress out of 24.
Alright.
Hod? That's right.
It is an exotic weapon. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
Well,
only
as long
24 because you have proficiency in simple and some martial weapons.
no, I have proficiency in all martial weapons.
Then it's still the same.
Would I be getting this any faster since I have a tutor?
Not in this. Let's see here.
I mean, this
Oh,
is a
right, that. In
fast,
that case, it would be 8. My bad. 8 out of 24.
Yeah.
and this is for the entire week.
Yes, this is for your week.
Yeah. So if a tutor can help speed up progress and help put more points towards training, could I find someone to help me train with Rack Drinker?
Hmm?
Could I find someone to help me train Rapid Drinker to make it so I can progress a lot quicker on that? Because I have a good progress already there. I just figured I'd ask if that is possibly.
I'd say sure.
Okay. So Constitution saving throws it was for that.
First, it'll be an investigation to see if you can find someone who is willing to train you.
Fun. Gotta.
Uh, are we okay with staying another week? Because I could have up to 16 points of progress, and then I can continue on the road.
Yeah, if you manage to get at least half progress, you can continue training on the wall, not with a trainer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need at least 12 points of progress to be able to continue on my own.
Yes, essentially.
So I need to stay for at least 4 more days, or else all that time just goes out the drain.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this
Now,
session
here's the thing.
basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, after you.
I was about to say. I was just gonna make mention about like trying to find a proper rapid drinker trainer. I was like, because working at a bar and essentially a brewery, I think it'd be easier for me to find one. It's like, yeah, I know a lot of people that drink. I could find one who professionally drinks really easily.
Almost forgot one last thing. Agaret in the file that you're given upon his arrival that he hands you, he's apparently proficient in a language you've never heard of, void speech. Essentially the language of creatures born in the void or created in the void, like void dragons or void giants or the Satar.
So does that mean we're going to be having void encounters now?
Yes, you might.
It's a,
However,
it's a
he's not. Here's the thing: he is not a trained intern. He's still technically untrained. This is just something he's already knows to speak. Think of it like over your entire life you knew like Spanish or something, and you're sent to a job where because you know Spanish, then yeah, but you don't treat it as like a full-time employee.
Okay, so it's like a native speaker. He speaks
Yes,
it, but
he is
he's
a
not trained.
native void speech
But
translator.
he's not a teacher.
No,
yeah.
he can
Essentially,
teach you, but it would. How do I put this?
it would be
Language
difficult.
is very complex and different.
Yeah. Not to mention,
I mean, we've
people
already
who are
got complicated
professionally.
languages anyway, so.
Fair.
Yeah, it's also another thing of like, unless you're professionally trained in the way of teaching, it's kind of hard to teach languages.
There's syntax, grammar, especially if it's like the Asian language. There's
Chinese or Japanese, and also tone.
that's the word I was thinking of. Where
And usage in like
what
different situations. Language is beautiful, but it's such a pain in the ass at times.
Yeah.
Someone who
Chinese
speaks
has
Spanish, God, it hurts.
Chinese Chinese Mandarin has a volume thing where if you say it loud enough, it's an entirely different word.
Yes,
And
can
it's
confirm. I've been trying to learn Chinese or Mandarin rather for the over the course of a few weeks, and I'm already banging my head against the wall. Like, how? Like, sure. I know what that means, but sure. Okay, what? There's so much to keep track of.
That one means thank you, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Both literally and figuratively.
it's like you saying and then you screaming and they're the same thing. They just have different contextual meanings, but literally in Japan or in Mandarin, it's like the.
Yeah. Either way, yes. Actually, there are. That's the subject of languages. It's a subject of its own that deserves its own time. But so let's just continue so we don't lose track of too much. So
We really
you do currently have a dragon egg. You currently have a dragon egg as a part of your technically not your horde, but it is currently under your care.
Yeah. No,
Can
Once it
I
hatches,
yeah.
can I roll in nature what I know of dragons and with my new dragon sensitivity training, which they would talk about dragons and their biology and everything? Would I gain advantage on this?
I would say that is more social in aspect.
So okay,
It would not apply.
so it's basically an expansion of my diplomat.
Diplomacy, yes.
So it now goes for dragon entities.
Yes, you have advantage on social interactions to do with dragon entities you've been trained under, which does not include void dragons, actually, because that's a recent discovery. They're still learning the social faux pas of them.
Okay,
Fun fact,
so
though, void dragons are actually not endangered at all, but they're still protected by the Draconic Protection Act.
Yeah, because they're going extinct. Not
They're about to go
Well-
extinct. They may go extinct.
Yeah.
They want to
They're
prevent
dra-
any possible extinction.
they're dragons. From what I know of dragons and draconic eggs, can I roll a nature to see if there's a way to artificially expedite the hatching process, but still keeping the egg healthy?
Arcana or nature, with disadvantage because you don't know about this specific subtype of dragon. Different dragons have different gestation periods, but yeah. So 25. You think about it for a moment? Yeah, you have no fucking clue, man. This is weird. Until you receive some sort of knowledge of what void dragons are, then the DC is 28.
I might be able to do it. I have a
You
sense.
might be able to, if it goes above, then you can theorize something that may or may not work. But for now, you're not sure.
Can I
And with this being, oh yeah, go ahead. But with this being a recently discovered, yeah, Arcana or Nature, whichever you prefer.
At disadvantage.
That's an outlaw.
So just roll another Arcana just to choose the lowest of the two, which, yeah, natural one.
It's not getting lower than a natural one.
Still, I mean, it could be two natural ones.
Alright, so.
Yeah,
I know it's less than a 5% chance, but still.
Yeah, so.
Fair.
I'll roll a nature for shits or giggles. Because I want to see if I know anything. Even if it's very little.
Good God, this last no. So Vera, void dragons, red dragons, gold dragons, silver dragons. They all have different gestation periods. Likely that's the case with void dragons, and from what you've heard, with sort of magical and stuff that with how much magic it does tend to involve. From what you've heard from Agaret involving void dragons or void giants, you're not entirely sure like what's going on in terms of the gestation period. Like, is there literally a black hole developing as they are growing inside of them? Or is there a temporal anomaly or is there some sort of physical anomaly inside that is actually forming the dragon? It's just some sort of hoo-ha. This is the first time in a long time that you actually don't know that much about, well, dragons. But especially magical dragons.
I gotta fix that. I've changed my mind. I know exactly what I'm doing with my downtime.
Yes, this is why I asked, so.
I rolled. I just had to keep rolling because I was keep rolling 25.
Oh God.
Yeah, Vera looks shocked. She's like, I have no idea. I couldn't even begin to speculate. This hasn't happened. This has never happened to me before.
So, do I get anything for a 25?
Not even close.
Yeah.
With 28, you can theorize something.
Can I keep rolling until I hit a 28?
No.
Yeah,
I will have to say no.
Okay, so we can choose to at least 2 people to at least do research into this while we're off doing our thing over the week.
You already have somebody, yes, and you do have somebody who can teach you.
I mean,
that being Agaret, who was actually a homesteader for the void dragon eggs.
I'm gonna ask him if there is any known way to of a void dragon hatching early.
Roll a persuasion check.
Normally?
Yes, normally. Natural 20. Not that he's heard of, and most attempts either resulted in the person being eviscerated, but he says dephysicalized. When you ask him what dephysicalized means, he just means your physical form no longer exists, or the dragon was born prematurely, and as such had to go through, was particularly weak and all that. So it's too risky, essentially, is what he's saying.
Now, I have a very, very evil idea. If you were
No,
to
you cannot eat the egg.
No. That's not where I was going.
That's dark. That's not evil. That's just dark.
No, I wasn't going to suggest eating the egg.
Good, because that's illegal and that's a international incident.
You mentioned dark as shit, man. What the fuck?
Well, yes, but also yes.
Auntie's the one that said it. I wasn't
That's why
going
I'm
there.
saying, what the fuck, Andy?
And here's a picture of a fully grown void dragon.
It's super fucking dope. So my idea is, if it dematerializes someone, is it possible that could expedite the process where it has to take life force from someone?
Arcana not with disadvantage again, because this is something even he's not able to. He doesn't know, and he's grown. He's raised, or rather, he's taking care of void dragon eggs. So
I'm gonna
natural one.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna be right back.
Fuck it, I'm gonna re-roll that. It can't be bad. It can't be worse than that one.
You were correct.
You're right, but it doesn't. But you don't know. Here's the thing. From what you're told, void dragons are capable of tearing apart reality itself in a very limited fashion. Well, mages are able to do that. They're able to bend reality, not break it. Void dragons, he's explained, fully don't. Actually, hold on. I actually need to confirm it here. So I am not going over the smaller things here. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Stop it. Yes, ancient void dragons, like the one that was defeated in the one-shot, if they were to die, well, how do I put this? You know what? Basically, here's what would have happened if you had decided to kill a void dragon. Just gonna drop that in the Thursday group chat. Basically, that happens.
Oh, it's nuked.
Well, here's the thing: void dragons actually have a small, essentially what can only be described as a star inside of them, causing them to do all the things they're normally able to do, like alter gravity or bend or break reality in a small and limited fashion. If they were to die, so does the star. And anyone who's read up on or even watched a video on what happens when a star dies can tell you that's not a good thing. I mean, yes, it's a small star, but still.
It's not surprising by the amount of damage it does. Even a small star is cataclysmic.
Yes, and this is about one the size of a dragon's heart.
They
don't have normal dragon physiology, and that's what happens when an ancient void dragon dies.
Huh.
It only happens when an ancient void dragon dies. That being said, moving on. It's generally not a good idea to expedite it because of how sensitive their hearts are. I mean, physically physically, not metaphorically. Their hearts are
So,
very fragile.
so we're just going to have to wait 20 years.
Yes, either that or he goes through some sort of temporal anomaly, which is unlikely, according to him, because from his understanding, that never happens. Keep in mind, he's a tribal. Keep in mind, he's a former tribal.
Whoa.
Yes,
Yeah.
essentially.
Alright, I just got kicked out of Discord for some reason.
I don't know
You're-
why.
Well, when I'm not training for this feat, I'm definitely going to be interested in researching anything about void dragons. Going to request information on different dragons and if there's any commonality between.
Agrit is your intern, so you can have him provide you the information.
I know exactly what I'm going to do.
And you would be doing this with Vera.
Yes, so me and Vera would be tag teaming. So when I'm not training, I'm gonna go to Seven Nobles Guild and request information on the different gestation periods of dragons to see if there's a commonality between them.
All right.
If we can estimate.
So chromatic,
if,
metallic, or other?
I'm gonna go.
I imagine the thing of the option of other would ring your ears a bit.
I'm definitely going to start with the other.
All right. I actually get some really interesting pieces of information. Apparently, there are these dragons called fire dragons. Was it fire? Hold on. Is it fire or flame? I need to confirm.
Yeah, I'm imagining it's a dragon made out of pure fire, is by its name. It's essentially a elemental, but a dragon.
No, a flame dragon. My bad. Flame dragon.
Yeah,
This is what a flame dragon looks like.
Hello? Yeah.
Here's what an ancient flame dragon looks like.
Yeah, so it's essentially a fire elemental, but a dragon.
Well, actually, no. It's a dragon that has been sort of like with Ganassi, a dragon that has been touched by the elemental planes.
Oh, okay.
In this case, the elemental plane of fire.
Yeah, I would have. Okay, so it's a Genasi dragon essentially, and this is a fire.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. I guess. Yeah. So I'd imagine because they discovered that, they're gonna see if they're gonna be like on Earth one, a Wind one, and maybe even a Water one.
Yes, they will actively be looking for that now. While the Seven Nobles Guild is an archaeological group, they do dabble in why do I say paleontology? No, anthropology. So
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm gonna just start going down the list of doing some calculating, some math, some all that good stuff, and
I mean, you also have to keep in mind, literally called void dragons, and their whole thing is void. So it's going to be very difficult.
okay, actually, gonna take a hold on that. We gonna request information on everything that's currently known about
About what?
the void. Everything I can get my hands on the void.
They will have it sent to you within a few days, because right now, well, everything is now being rechecked because of the recent discovery of void giants and void dragons. So doable, but it'll take a little bit.
I'm fine with waiting.
Yeah, they're only going to send you the ones that they can confirm are actually true, because a lot of things are turning out to not be true. Like, there's no life in the void. What? That's not true. There's some. It's not just a concept, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. So the void is a physical place. There's physical entities living.
It is both a physical place and and an entity itself
The void is a
and a
creature.
concept. Yes
Uh,
and no.
okay.
It's a creature, but not in the traditional sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's essentially saying it's a beast of a whole entire thing.
It's not even a beast. They don't even know.
Well,
Not even the void
well,
dragons or giants know what it is.
okay, I'm saying it as in the term, but like it's a beast of a whole entire thing, as it like the saying, not like a literal thing, man.
Ah, okay, my bad.
You kind of took that a little bit too much, but anyways,
Do party wise, do can we stay another week to prepare?
If you would like to, you have to run by your fellow players.
I'm asking the group in.
My apologies.
yeah, I don't mind another week of downtime, just essentially to see if I can make more potent alcohol and just keep trading for a rapid drinker and stuff and get that knocked out of the way.
Because um, I need to continue training with that beat and to help Vera do the research
Yeah.
on Dragon and Void and all that.
Yeah, I can also use the solid downtime or whatever. I'm not making better alcohol, selling too, and getting more money because I gotta also invest in Orli's business and also improve my own gear too because I gotta trade out some items for other
You
items.
you could what's it called? You could sell to the inn we're currently.
That is true.
Yeah.
You've never, you have heard of the place. You just, been busy with your own business and you haven't really asked them.
Yeah, the way I've been imagining it is that she's been running her own bar and business and haven't really outsourced to other places, essentially.
Yeah.
I would expect she to have like a lucrative contract with some businesses where they can only sell her alcohol.
Well, she, that would be up to Auntie because Auntie rolled and then she's been in the alcohol business for 12 years, so that'd be so not if she was in business with other people selling her alcohol to other places and businesses. Auntie would also have to roll to see how much I've been pulling from them too, and that's a whole entire more
Yes.
complicated shit. So
Way more complicated, but that being said, so let's see here. What else would you like to do? In addition to, well, actually, how about this? Excuse me. Yes, regarding the information regarding the void itself, that'll take a little bit, but in addition to all the research and reading and all that, is there anything else you'd like to do? Other than the training?
Uh, hmm.
I mean, I was gonna do a little bit of shopping, but like I said, I want to try to invest as much gold as I can into normalized business or platinum or whatever need be.
Hmm. All right.
Um, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do want to trade out my +1 mace for at least a +1 longsword because that's better now that I'm proficient in martial weapons.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that right now because I'll get the cost right around. So I'll be selling my +1 mace for a +1 longsword. Real quick.
Noted. Is there anything V would like to do, Flutter?
Um, well, researching the void dragons. She can't stand not knowing something.
All right.
Also, remember she wants to see visit Lucioscope.
All right. He is able to speak to you when you are available. He's generally pretty not all that busy. So, all right.
So that if there's enough help from other people, we kind of like
If
yeah. you, I guess.
Oh, I was just gonna say, for continuing for another week, I'm gonna make more dex checks for the week.
Yeah, you get those knocked out of the way, and then I gotta roll another investigation because I kind of got buried for trying to find someone that's professionally trained in drinking. Because I kind of that got super buried.
Yeah. Let's see.
Might be.
Well, it's like we got super sidetracked, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Basically, the DC for the check is 17, so.
Uh,
For the dexterity, oh, that's just, oh, that's fucked. Wow.
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4,
should
5,
have chosen
6.
lucky as an ability score feat. I kid.
Auntie, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's just that. Like, you wasted all the good rolls on freaking rolling Arcana and shit.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, God. I don't even have. That's 10.
You did get an additional point of progress.
Yeah,
Well, 2 points of additional progress.
So 10 or 12.
10. I believe, yeah, 10.
So you still need another freaking at least 3 more.
2 more successful checks.
One more. If I make one.
Yeah, one more. My bad. One more. You have to make a total of 24 successful checks to get the proficiency in it.
Yeah, but at least with.
Okay, so I need to stay a week and 2 more days.
And with that, let's see here. So, let's see. You do also have, let's see. Where the hell is going? Alright, one moment. Getting something odd on my side.
Define odd.
Odd as in I'm missing it. Oh, never mind. There it is. I thought I was missing some note, but no, it's right here in front of my face.
Okay. So. God, what shit luck.
Welcome to most of my rolls.
Fair. At least it's not 2 natural ones side by side.
At least it doesn't. At least it doesn't remove progress.
Yeah. You don't lose progress. You're still attempting it, so you keep your progress.
Yeah. Okay. So with 12, I'd have a week and 2 days, which then by that point we'd have to immediately book it.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Because
you do make some progress, and you do manage to get halfway progress with that 15 and 22. Well, that 22, my bad. That 22.
And you said I need a 17 to pass.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Disregard that.
Which
said me saying the 15 was a success.
I mean, I have proficiency in medium armor, shields, like everything except heavy armor, and these 4 exotic. I feel like a 15 should pass, but.
Well, DC would normally be 18 if you.
Oh boy, 1 point of.
Yeah.
1 point.
Oh, and that's if you had proficiency in simple weapons. If you were just a wizard, and you didn't have proficiency in at least all simple weapons, the DC would be 19.
It sounds like it. Well, it is exotic weapons for a reason, but it's still 17, even with being proficient with.
You have to. Yeah, you have to know the fundamentals, and even then, the bow is about the size of a person, if I recall. So, it's particularly difficult to have to...
Wait.
Compared to a normal longbow, where it'll encompass most of your body, but not all of it.
Well,
with a dragon killing bow, you have to anchor it onto the ground, pull it back, and make sure you don't accidentally flap yourself in the face with the drawstring.
So it's the way it works is you gain proficiency with 4 exotic weapons and armor.
Like weapon and or armors, whatever combination you can choose. You can spread it.
Hmm.
But
Which which what I'm going to choose is the dragon great bow, the tempered leather.
Also, didn't you say you wanted Hajime to register herself as a blood magic user?
Yes. I feel like that's something I would have done. Or should do.
All right,
all right,
easy enough.
yeah,
They do, of course, have to they have to do like some weird rituals to make sure you have no evil intent with blood magic. You clear, go pat, you breeze through it. There's no sign that you would ever use it to harm people other than in self defense.
Mhm. That's the asterisk right there.
Yes, they do, of course, they have to give you things like pamphlets of, hey, keep in mind, different people, even if they're the same race, may have different blood types of blood. Here's some things to know about it, so that way you don't accidentally get certain diseases.
yeah.
Practice safe blood magic, kids. God,
God damn.
Do
I'm
you,
so
All
sorry.
right.
do
So
you have is there a specific condom for your arcane for my druidic focus?
God.
No, it's just no. Stop it.
To help get things back on track, I'm gonna roll my investigation again because that got buried. Before I can find a
Yes, please.
see if I can find someone to train a professionally trained drinker. Natural fucking
Natural
20. Of
20.
course I
You
rolled
actually
high.
you don't find anyone in the city, but you find one in your bar.
Of course. It's like, damn it, I couldn't find one. Open up fucking.
It's literally just it's like this little. It's actually a gnome. Oddly enough, he's not even Erytherian. He's just some gnome who knows how to drink.
A professional drinker.
Yes, I'm a professional paid alcoholic. How could you tell?
Well, no, he's like a taste tester.
Nah, he even calls himself an alcoholic.
He's
Nah,
a
yeah, I got a problem, but am I gonna fix it? Nah.
Fuck that. Where's the fun of that? So yeah, I'd ask if he'd be willing to train me to be a professional drinker because
He says that you'll never be as good at drinking as he is, but he'll try to teach you a few things.
so now I get to make
For one, you want to drink, you want to eat, you want to drink some bananas. You heard him right. You don't want to eat the bananas. You want to drink them.
so liquefy.
Nope, not even liquefy them. You gotta mash those suckers. Anyways, that aside, the joke aside about hello, the joke about sword eating aside. Yeah, that'll require several in yeah they'll require several Constitution checks with advantage.
All right, cool. One check,
All right.
two.
Are you spending the week at your first?
Well, yeah, I'm spending essentially the night shift training to drink, and then morning I'm gonna be essentially trying to find a way to make stronger alcohol.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello?
Okay.
Alright, so that would be 4, 5.
DC for this is also. Oh, this one is actually 16. So
I
yeah.
haven't rolled below that yet, so. This
So
is.
until that's the first six. Yeah. So one more.
And this is for first week, so that's. Oh!
All right. That's a total of. Well, that's a total. Still, that's a total of 12 points of progress out of 18.
Yeah, I already made some progress, so I got 9
Oh
points.
no, You've made progress. On top, 12 additional points of progress on top of what else you've made.
Alright, so I have 21 out of total right now.
Oh, then you get it.
Oh, so I have rapid drinking now?
Yes.
Alright. So I can.
Also, by the time you finish the training, let's see here. Oh yeah, it tells you that he's decided to go to Alcoholics Anonymous to get his life together because yes, it gets him a lot of money, but he just wants to see his kids, man.
Yeah, I guess moderation is important, but still. Alright, so I can
Alcoholism, it's not a joke. It ruins families.
Well, if you
Unless you have no family.
well,
In which case, go ahead. I don't know, don't. Just, moral sensibilities are kicking in.
Alright, so I managed to get rapid drinking done, so that means I have a whole entire free week to myself. Just do whatever.
You can devote it to your business.
Yeah, so I'm going to be devoting it to my business and to making stronger shit.
By the way, you do finish the beer. At that point, by the way.
Oh yeah, so I would already start a balling of that. How many bottles did it yield? Because that's essentially for the party.
What is your bonus to
Oh,
your
my strength
distiller's tools?
my bonus, counting my expertise and my wisdom modifier, that's a 16.
Yes. All right. I need to roll through 3d10.
Essentially, I made this just for like a casual drink amongst friends, this kind of deal.
And are you selling them in your bar, or are you selling them? Or are you going to be distributing it?
I'll sell some of it, but I'm keeping some of it to myself to share amongst the party, essentially. So,
Like half and half?
yeah, I'd say I'll keep half, sell the other half.
All right. So, roll the 3d10
3 to 10.
still.
That's it. 20.
All right, you get a total of from your batch selling half of that, you get 1,000 gold pieces
1,000 gold pieces.
or 100 platinum.
Yeah, I'll put it as platinum because it's lighter.
Yes.
And then I got 10 bears for myself.
And that was through your tavern, yes, or through the distribution.
Yeah, essentially through my tavern, like through my bar or tavern, whatever you want to call it.
All right, keep in mind. Keep in mind, this is not counting. This is not keeping in mind the payment you have to give to your employees for the month.
Yeah, I would have probably already set an advancement of like they already set money aside above game, or you're just gonna have to.
It's your choice as to how much of that you'd like to, distribute into your employees.
Oh, don't worry. I'm like I would. Normally, I would always make sure that they always get a fair pay and people get.
Yeah. Keep in mind the average character, at least for normal living expenses, for like a year, 15 gold pieces will run you just fine. That's not including like clothing or anything else like. Well, that's including basic clothing and things like that, and food, and basically nothing fancy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, essentially, like it be giving appropriate pay where it deserves to get, basically, not like
Yes. So.
not cutting anyone.
Yeah. So So how much would you like to expend for each of your employees?
Let's see. I gained through sales, through selling 10 beers, at least 100 plat. So I'd probably. I honestly, I only probably keep about probably 20 to myself and divide it amongst like evenly amongst the rest, because it's like the cost of making like straight up beer wouldn't be isn't
And,
necessarily expensive, but I'm
all
trying to
right.
think of a reasonable cut because
So essentially, so I'm just running it by running the numbers. So essentially, you're giving them a bonus for a successful week in this case with this new beer.
yeah, because Norlai always treats her recruit correct, like right.
All right, that does increase their morale. I'm just keeping that in mind.
All right, so I
All right, and you do receive some. Let's see here. You actually receive a request.
give a request.
Yeah, rather sorry. You're yes, it is specifically for some a local beer to be made for a specific party, not party, but an event that is going to occur. Is for the introduction for the Aslun clergy into this city.
Oh.
That's
That's the quote unquote evil, violent and death goddess, sister of the former goddess Saloon.
all right. That's something to keep in mind because this means I can actually get grand level knowledge from these people, like inviting about this.
Yes, they are willing to pay you. Let's see here. Oh right, I forgot. Yeah, they're willing to pay you 5 gold pieces per, essentially for flavor. 5 gold pieces per bottle. Not per bottle. For 20 gold pieces per. No, wait, not 20. What? I'm sorry, I'm misreading it here. I'm looking at something else entirely. Give me a moment. Yes, they're willing to pay you 500 gold pieces per large keg.
Hmm.
That's
That is, compared to normally where you normally you'd sell it for like a keg of beer, like 150 gold of large 150 gold pieces for a large keg of beer. That is a significantly larger pay.
yeah.
Well, I think there's like we'll pay you more because we're an evil. We're an evil. We worship an evil god.
All right. So
Or rather, they probably want to build a positive reputation of paying well those that help the clergy.
all right.
Or
So
they yeah.
all right. So
Or they're trying to get you to owe them.
So here's the
Maybe.
smart thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it so like I'll accept the I'll accept their inquiry if on the exception that I get the serve the beer myself
All right.
because I want
Roll a persuasion check
yeah
for me.
I
because this will get good information of like finding out more about these people just through fucking just
And what is your character? And what is your character? What is your character's reasoning for this?
I honestly just want to find out more about the cult and find out more of their intentions, so to speak.
All right. Roll it.
you wish to
Keeping this in
learn
mind for the
more.
DC.
You wish to learn more about them.
14. Actually, they're completely content with that. Of course, they give you like the general dress code because it is because even though they're consuming beer, it is a formal occasion. A formal occasion where they drink beer. I never would have guessed.
It's like, gee, just trouble for drinking. I would have never guessed working at a bar.
They're talking black black collar, not black collar, black tie,
Yeah, it's a black. Uh,
levels of formal.
yeah, she would be used to that on occasion with people like occasionally throwing soirees, so to speak, just being like and shit.
They also are willing. They also commission. They also ask if the representative asks if you do other types of alcohol because their whole shtick right now for the party is going to be local drink. No, it's not local drinks. Local breweries and how hemomancy could theoretically assist in aiding them.
Yeah, I'll make mention that I do beers, whiskeys, and moonshines.
All right, they're going to ask for. They're going to ask for several kegs of each.
Okay.
Well, beers,
So
whiskey, basically all A lot of them, except for wine, beers,
And
whiskey,
probably vodka.
spirits.
Well, vodka. Vodka would be
That
Well,
alright.
requires like starchy
potato.
starched.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of starches. So more commonly potatoes.
Yeah.
Potato.
So it would be rum, spirits, vodka, moonshine, whiskey. A lot.
It's generally the super strong stuff. The stronger is more likely the Norlai would be doing it.
I mean, wine can be really strong.
Uh,
That is true. That being said, moving on. So, does your character
Pro-
does are you okay with this? With this taking this commission?
yeah, I should be able to do it. I will notify them that if that I might be going on the road soon. But I will make sure to still finish the commission in time.
All right.
uh,
They will pay you half now, and then the rest will be sent to your building.
could you play something in the bot?
Yes. Let's see here. Let's put some ambiance.
All right. So with all that commissioning done, I guess I'll be brewing that alcohol for them and also figure out how to make stronger shit too. While
All
I'm
right.
at it.
Your employees do wish to speak with you though in regards to accepting this job.
Okay, I will set. I will set some time aside so I can speak to them, seeing how they
All
want
right.
me one on one.
They will essentially ask you why you accept a job for these for these leeches. Because a lot of them not really much of a fan of heromancy and this church in this quote unquote church in general.
Yeah, she'll look them down in the eyes, like, cause I'd like to hear both sides of the story. I've heard that your cult is not exactly in the best light yet, and that there is something shady going on. But if I see stuff at the ground level and see for what it really is, I can maybe help spread word that what's really going on and give you guys a better light.
It's like what I say. There's three sides to every story. Your side, my side, and and what really happened, the truth.
All right, roll a general persuasion check. Roll a persuasion check for this with advantage due to them being on high morale. 14. That's just enough, actually. Again, they understand and they just hope that you make the right decision. They understand they'll root for you and they'll do their best. They just hope they make the right decision,
Yeah, so
whatever it may be.
oh, so I'm not confused. I'm talking to the people that commissioned me, or am I talking to someone?
Your
Your turn.
employees.
Oh, my employees. So yeah, I'd look at them and be like, look, if they're doing something shady, I'll report it to you guys immediately. But until then, it's a job.
All right, you're being professional about it. Got it. Keeping that in mind. Got it. All right.
Alright.
So
So I'm gonna roll Brewers Crafts for the week just to see if I can make stuff stronger.
roll three. Actually, just roll three,
Yeah.
just to make it fast.
Yeah. Roll 3. That's a 1. That is a 2.
And your last one.
Be awesome.
19. All right. Yeah. All right. The process is done, and yeah, I'll let you know in the coming week. Next week. Not out of game. Next week.
Yeah,
What
next week in
happens?
real life, and then next week in actual game time.
Right. And
So,
Flutter for Vera.
Yes.
What?
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Just one second.
All right.
yeah. First, I can't wait to see what kind of stronger ale they can possibly make. But I also gotta remember that during any downtime, I gotta start training for the Grandmaster Craftsman to see if that's something that. Yeah. So having advantage of rolls to be able to make nails and then be able to make magical nails would be interesting.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. So, what would you like? So, what are you going to be doing over the course of the 2 weeks?
Still, no. Excuse me. No change to my plan. So, no change to my plan.
All right, noted. And you do receive the books on the void itself. It's actually just not 2 books. It's about 3 books that are confirmed at the moment to be accurate and correct.
Okay, so what books are they?
One is theoretical. One is. Let's see here. The void as an entity. One book is on the void as an entity. One is on the void as a place. And the last one is actually much thinner. At this point, you could probably guess it could have easily just been made into a pamphlet, but it is a book on entities in the void. Or rather, creatures in the void.
So one of them is the void as an entity. One of them is the creatures of the void. And what's the second one?
First one was the void as an entity. The second one is the void as a place. There's information on the void as a place, and the third one are creatures in the void.
Okay.
I'm gonna study them, and I'm gonna cross-reference them with my current books as well.
Which book do you want me to give you first? Because I'm going to be looking at the void as an entity.
What were the other 3 again?
Void as an entity, void as a place, and the creatures of the void.
Void is a place. I'm also going to keep my eyes cracked for any mention of ley lines.
Alright.
Okay.
So, alright. And who's reading the book on the void as an entity?
Or any mention of hemomancy as well.
Alright, noted.
I'm going to be, I'll read void as an entity, and void as, then... Well, the voided creatures is really small, so I'll just kind of read that one first.
Alright. Void creatures. There is only one, but the information is extensive. Here is an illustration of a creature in the void, simply known as voidlings. Let me just post it here and there. That is a creature. These creatures are known as voidlings. The information as to what they are is rather short compared to the actual encounters with voidlings. If the void had cockroaches or rats or any sort of pests, these would be them. They are by far the most common creatures found in the void.
So the void equivalent of flies or ticks.
Yes.
Wait,
however,
no. I get it. These creatures are the telltale sign that you have void taints in an area.
Yes. Sort of. Their abilities are reliant on actually they are reliant on darkness, which ties into some theories of how the void itself is also a manifestation of the darkness, which itself implies that there may be a way to enter the void, possibly in certain rituals that have yet to be discovered or invented, to actually go into the void through shadows. or into dark areas. However, according to all recorded information, no one knows for certain. That is again just a theory. And out of character, these are challenge rating 11.
Oh.
So even for being the equivalent of flies in the void,
Yes.
they're fucking. They will end.
They're very destructive if you find them in the darkness.
Yeah, imagine if you had like what is it? Sunlight is the spell. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, it'd be way easier, which is why whenever it's listed in there, if you are to fight a voidling, at least have a light priest with you.
Yeah, or someone with
Because these things will kill you if you are not careful.
Yeah.
There's also a list of creatures, or, well, things created by the void as well in there, because the thing is rather small. The book is rather small. There's a page regarding void-racked mages. Essentially, most mages of most common mages have some sort of tie to the void itself. As a result, some of them are capable of casting void magic. But when it goes wrong, and I do mean it actually, if it goes wrong.
Battery's low. Can you hand me my
If it goes wrong, then it may result in if you do not practice void magic without preemptive knowledge beforehand, you may end up as this, a void racked mage. You lose your
I'm assuming you essentially become consumed by the void to the point where
your mind, your soul is consumed by the void and is replaced with the void.
Yeah, that's.
So is that what the void as an entity book says?
Nope, that is what happens when a mage practices void magic without preemptive knowledge and precaution.
Well, only wizards can learn void spells, which kind of sucks.
It is unfortunate, but it kind of makes sense. You'd have to be smart to learn this kind of shit and well prepared. So it makes sense that wizards be the only ones. But seeing how sorcerers is more of a natural magic, and warlocks is straight up like you make a deal and you make a pact.
Yes, this is up. Yeah, it's how do I put this? Void magic is essentially like it's a specialized thing. Yeah, that's about it.
I would imagine if there was a sorcerer variant, it'd be extremely rare. I could probably see it being more possible that somehow someone made a pact with the void, became like a warlock of the void. But
yes, there are such things, actually. But there's also another thing that you managed to find that is rather disturbing. You have heard of character has heard of aboleths. They're generally something you don't want to encounter. Apparently there is a unique type of aboleth that exists in the void, called a nihilith. This is what they look like.
That looks like a fish amalgamation.
Oh, that just screams evil.
Yeah, that's something that seems like it should be at the bottom of the fucking deepest ocean.
It belongs in not just the deepest ocean, they exist in the void itself. There's a lot that people don't know about the void. Nihilists are one of them. Nihilists are essentially... Some people think that they are the apex predators below... They're the predators below ancient void dragons. But even the ancient void dragons, according to... there's an addition... There's a post statement note that says that even according to several ancient void dragons, they Nihilists are not the apex predators of the void, and neither are ancient void dragons.
Oh no.
There may be more inside the void, and there may be even more that are even worse. The void dragons refuse to comment as to what sort of creatures exist that are above them.
It's very interesting stuff. Is that everything? Because I got a couple of questions I want to ask, but I was like, I can wait. But yeah,
It's alright, but
not specifically about this stuff, but just some sporadicals.
understandable.
Other than I want to start reading the void as a entity, and then I want to talk to our resident void expert uh, about some things.
Alright, what would you like to talk to them about?
So those void things, the things that look like they're straight out of a hentai dojin.
He doesn't know what that is, but go on.
Has much like the underworld, the underground.
The Underdark.
Is there Underdark? Is there actual physical, or maybe not even physical, exit points to what the material plane and vice versa that has the ability, like the void spilling out into the material plane and all the other planes? How known is that to the void creatures? Like, how does that happen on their end?
From their perspective, Agarit specifically does not know, but from his understanding, from what he's been able to receive as from the Void Dragon, there's pockets of like small tears in the void that are not a part of the void, sort of like mouse holes that allow you to enter different locations.
So
some of them are demi-planes of their own right, created by other ancient void dragons, and they've been set up as like permanent safe havens for others of their ilk or other void giants. There are some of them lead to other planes, such as the Nine Hells, the Abyss, the deepest parts of the Abyss, or even Mount Celestia. There are even some that reach here in the material plane, like the bottom of the Cheerless Deep, or somewhere in the Walled Deep. Oddly enough, he's never heard of any of them that exist in the northern area above Resh, northern sea above Resh. Oddly enough.
So these portals only appear in usually unvisited places that no one has ever explored that are extremely dark.
Yes and no. Like, for example, the ones that exist in Mount Celestia, they exist in the broad daylight. It appears that these sort of these holes, so to speak, appear and disappear at random intervals.
So it's more than likely than not they appear either a extremely dark place or a extremely light place, but even if it's random and unpredictable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's both extremes, yeah.
So that's
if you were, if he, now here's another question for him. If we were to go in a place, would he be able to tell that there was a void care nearby? A void hole?
He doesn't have as much experience. he would he would honestly recommend, if anything, a Void Dragon adult. Because even they have a small Void Dragon adults at least have a small grasp and understanding of where to find certain void tears in the void. But even then, it's very dangerous to even attempt this sort of thing. Yes, you may very well appear in another location that you want to go to in like less than a second, but the threats in there are nothing to laugh at. Nihilists are not the most dangerous creatures there, and they're very dangerous in their own right.
Like outside the game, what sort of CR are we looking at?
Outside of the game, since the void itself is considered their own lair, CR 12 if they aren't in packs. Individually, they do fly. They do swim in packs, and each of them have, of course, lair actions and legendary actions.
Alright, so these things are equivalent, like, populace level equivalent of flies, but are essentially deadlier than piranhas.
Yes, they are. At least for you guys. Void dragons, because the void itself counts as their own lair, they can easily dispatch of them
Yeah.
as long as they're adults. That being said, it's not the. That being said, if you wish to go there, he'd recommend. He doesn't actually recommend it, but the only people he would even consider would be void cultists and void speakers, because at least they have a slight comprehension of them, even a slight. But he doesn't recommend entirely trusting them, because with that knowledge comes a certain level of disconnect from being mortal, and as such, a certain level of mania.
Yeah, so,
And that mania can make them even more unpredictable than you'd normally consider, even for just a mage.
so the knowledge of the void and then the extravagant knowledge will slowly start driving a person mad.
Not necessarily the knowledge of the void existing. Like that's fine to know that the void
Yeah,
exists.
but I'm talking like actual.
It's when you go deeper
Yeah, like
in the rabbit hole of the void. Yeah.
that's kind of what I meant. Like if you go too deep into trying to figure out how it exactly works, like and trying to figure out how to use it for your own gains, it will drive you to a form of madness.
Yes. Especially if you're of weak will, it will drain you physically.
Oh,
So-
time to get crazy.
Time to get crazy.
He
Do
does
we-
actually ask if you have like a piece of paper, because he has his quote unquote tribe, but actually slaves, has met one
Do I
speaker.
have a piece of paper? Do I have a piece of paper?
Does anyone have a piece of paper?
Do I, Vera Church Mouse, researcher extraordinaire and librarian, have a piece of paper?
I take it that's a yes.
Yes.
Do you want lined or unlined? How do you want 12 by 5 or 20
They
by
don't care.
12?
They don't even understand what do you mean lined paper.
Yeah, I think we're at the century where light paper hasn't been invented yet.
Well, no, it has been invented. It's just that keep in mind they're for the most part tribal.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true.
And he'll just essentially draw a rough drawing. You see you see what looks like a human woman in faded and heavily marked attire. And only everything else seems fine except for the area around the mouth, and the area around the eyes, the fingertips. Essentially, you see roughly this, except without all the color.
Marco, you're not a good artist.
She just nods along. Definitely not crazy looking. Not at all.
They don't look crazy, but what they speak is nothing but utter madness.
They look perfectly sane. You heard them speak.
Exactly. That being
If
said,
anyone,
mm-hmm.
yeah, if anyone asks, we said they look perfectly sane.
Yeah. To a normal person, they look completely fine. In fact, they'd probably be mistaken for a shadow sorcerer. However, how do I put this? The ancient dragon that led the cult was only willing to allow a void speaker to even live in his presence, much less speak, because he had something over them. And that was only to traverse the void remotely safely. For all the, for considering the fact that ancient void dragons have enslaved his people, he doesn't hate them. What
They
they
provide.
did, they provided a safety in the void that existed nowhere else.
Hey, you got all that stuff on your mouth.
Yeah.
You got it there?
You got a little bit of void on your mouth.
God. His people have been able to survive in the void because they were, well, not to meme, but they were born of it. They were molded by it. Their very concept of reality is based around the void.
Is
But their
there?
tribe has lived with the ancient void dragon of their own. So they're a lot more friendly compared to the rest of their peoples that exist there.
Do they have a time and space in the void is completely different than the material plane? What
It
sort?
actually is consistent, according to him. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 minute in
Wait,
reality is 1 minute in the void.
Yeah, but the Song of Curators
whoa!
do, they actually have a concept of time on the void.
Yes, it's just that. Well, however much time you spend in the void it stays the same.
I thought
However,
there's.
once you go through a wormhole, what's essentially a wormhole in the void, that's where things get tricky.
Oh, so it's the actual traveling that could potentially launch you forward weeks or maybe the slight
Maybe a
possibility
few
of
seconds.
yeah, yeah. I can also see the possibility of somehow sending you slightly back in time because wormholes can possibly do that, but it's
Yes, essentially.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so you can end up with a time skip or end up into last week.
Yes, it's the void itself doesn't cause the temporal distortion. It's the wormhole. It's the holes themselves. It's kind of like how to explain this. Yeah, it's kind of like how pufferfish meat itself isn't poisonous. It's just that if you aren't careful, then you accidentally burst like the poison sacs. Yeah, that's when it's dangerous.
In
Or
of
no, that's not accurate.
itself,
That's not accurate.
Yeah.
It's like
no,
having like salmon themselves are not poisonous, but when you burn or are not inedible. But when you burn them, yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
okay. The void itself isn't dangerous. It's what's in the void.
Yes, the void and regarding void itself as an entity for Flutter, or rather for Vera, the entity
Um,
does not care, and yet it also cares.
I'm the
It
one.
doesn't have any goals, and yet when it comes to maintaining its territory, it does. It's much akin to that of a were tiger or a territorial creature. As long as its realm is not invaded by any sort of entity, like angels or devils or demons, it just does not care.
She's reading the entity at the void as a place. I'm reading the void as an.
Oh, right, my bad. Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
so the void is uncaring as long as its peace isn't disturbed.
Peace being a relative term. It will, on occasion, yes, heavy quotes, because it will, on certain occasions, attempt to either will knowingly or unknowingly bleed into certain other planes.
Do we know what void mutations are?
It is listed there. It is they're quite rare because the mutations they usually get very, very, very bad,
Yeah.
resulting in the person needing to be euthanized.
Alright, so if I had to take a guess, you're more likely to get mutated from hell than you are from the void.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's in fact, it's a lot more preferable to get mutated by the nine hells compared to the void.
Oh my
Because
god!
the nine hells, at least you'll still maintain your your sentience. The void will strip that away.
Well, not based on the PDF. What the PDF says. Void mutations are when you every time you get hit by a void or encounter something heavy of the void, you gain up certain points, and
Yes, it's just that most
you have a
encounters with the void as recent have been extremely heavy interactions.
basically you have to pass a certain save or you start racking up points, and these points are I can't remember what they're based off of, but if you reach a certain limit you are past this, you mutate, and that stuff is grotesque.
Yeah, so
Like,
Yeah, essentially, here's the thing: the only recorded instances of void mutation, void encounters, have been extreme void encounters, to the point where, as long as they, if unless they succeed in resisting the effects, they are almost instantly mutated on the spot.
mhm.
So people wouldn't go on there unless they have some kind of protection or they are mentally prepared for this kind of shenanigans.
Or if they're a void speaker.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, that's
And void speakers are actually, oddly enough, immune to the effects of the void.
yeah.
They cannot be mutated whatsoever.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. If you're native or a void speaker, you're gonna be more likely resistant or immune to the void's effects.
Essentially.
It's interesting. So stuff like the void mutations are, from what I remember. I'm trying to find
And it's
in I'm trying to find the actual thing in the Roll20 compendium, but there's like you grow mantis like apparatus, like you're as horribly disfigured.
it's essentially worse than getting dunked in just like
Or yeah, oh god, what's that one character from The Walking Dead? I keep forgetting the character. It's like this really objectively bad, or not bad as in bad, not bad as in like poorly written. I'm being bad as in like evil in the Walking Dead, in the Telltale not Walking Dead games.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways,
Yeah, let's not continue on that then.
but regardless, is that everything you want to know, Max? Any more questions? I got it.
Or is there any questions that Flutter has?
Well, no, no.
Alright. And Mast?
Oh, wait,
Not
actually,
for-
yeah.
Oh, yes?
So where does it exist?
It technically exists. How do I put this? The void self, if you were to place it somewhere in the circle, basically, the whole thing where you can point out the nine hells, the elemental plane of fire, the Feywilds, and all that, it exists outside of it. it is everything between each of the realms of reality, each of the realms, and around it. It is said to essentially be almost limitless. In mind, this exists out of the material plane, and it is not space. Essentially, out of it's like it is the it is in the it is its own reality of its own. It's just very dangerous, essentially.
Yeah, it's
nutty.
Some scholars theorize that if technology and magic were to develop enough, we could theoretically traverse through any point of reality we wish, we being mortals. But at the current state of technology and magic, it's best to leave that under the for the theory for the experimentalists and the theorists, and also the madmen.
so forget about it for this time period. But the next time period, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be more mentally prepared, and there might be shit to protect you against like kind of stuff.
Or who knows? Maybe in the industrial age, they'll start considering human trials or mortal trials. Then the industrial age and the modern age actually perform mortal trials, and then, well, who knows after that. But anyways, yes, that is what you're able to discern from the books. It's generally not a pleasant place. It might be useful, but it could also theoretically, essentially, if in terms of player, you'd lose that character unless you received immediate treatment, or you were brought back through resurrection or true resurrection. You'd have to start rolling up a new character.
Yeah, I
For
imagine a good way to fix that would be a cheap way to do that would just be the reincarnate. Even though he gets no race to
Possibility, or alternatively, like within a minute of you being afflicted, a greater restoration.
Yeah.
By void or void meeting.
Yeah.
Well, not by a void. It could be anyone who has access to greater restoration.
Yeah, that's interesting information. Regardless. Yeah, I got no questions on the void. I can. The question, I got a couple questions on this, but I'll wait on if you guys are done with this with your void knowledge.
No, not currently.
Any questions? Any more questions regarding the void?
I want to fight something from void.
Are you actually? Is your character actually saying this?
I think it's you as a player that's saying that, right? That's just personal interest to see what possible encounters.
A little bit of both. She's definitely curious of. I want to see one of these creatures up close.
I mean, you already have.
Yeah. Okay. Technically,
Your new, yeah.
I want.
Your
I want.
intern
and
the intern.
Yeah, and the intern.
I want. Okay. Well, how about I want to see one of these dangerous void, like the not te- the not the what's the
The
fuck
nihilists, or I mean the voidlings.
The voidlings are the ones that would probably be an interesting encounter.
I definitely. I will. He will say. I'm curious about the voidling, and I would like to see a nihilist at some point in my life.
He'll just stare at you. He doesn't have eyelids, so he can't narrow his eyes, but you could probably assume he's doing something similar as he's just staring at you, and just says, "Okay."
Okay.
Uh,
Great, great talk, bud. Great talk.
okay, wonderful. I see you two are a man who wishes to. I see you two wish to die horribly and violently over the course of several years.
You're not the one that killed two literal avatars of demons. I'm pretty sure we can take uh some void entities.
Maybe, but he works for you, and even no matter how powerful you are, he just wants to keep it. He wants to stay employed. All right. He just wants to earn some money and send it back to his tribe and send them nice letters about the wonders and oddities of this so-called civilization.
Yeah, we'll send a shrub. We'll send a shrub there.
God damn it!
Thank you.
You're so mean to him.
Not my shrubs. That also reminds me, I do have two fucking awakened shrubs.
Yes, they've been following you the entire time, and on occasion helping you carry some things, as long as it wasn't too heavy, of course.
They're essentially like the best pets that also work as supplies for plant-based substances involved.
Yes. Anyway, so, any other questions?
None that I have.
All right, Flutter. Any other questions Vera might have, or you yourself? Oh, hello. Do you have any? Do either you or Vera have any questions regarding the void, or creatures from the void, or anything like that? Oh no. Okay, PC.
Yeah, they had.
Because I remember.
I personally don't have questions.
Oh, actually, quick thing. Have any of you guys heard the song "Buried Alight" for the new DMC? For PS5 for the new DMC5 edition.
No,
Yellow.
we hear you.
Do either you as a player or your character have any questions regarding the void?
How does magic work according to the void?
Magic in the void? Well, he explains that according to one of the mages, one of the shamans in his tribe, there is no sign of magic in the void itself. Any magic that is cast tends to alert the creatures that reside in it. However, his tribe has developed certain spells designed to be undetectable in the void, that being void spells.
Is magic in the void the same as magic outside of the void, or?
It is generally the same. Yes, there's not much of a difference, but it's kind of like setting up a flare. It's like setting up a. No, it's not like that. Yes, it's like pulling your. It's like setting aflame a bunch of fireworks inside of an active building.
With fireworks spelling out, "Yo, come and get me."
No, more along the lines of free food.
Yeah, that works.
Actually,
Are there any ley lines in the void?
No, the void does not have any ley lines,
ley lines are concentrated magical energy.
and they exist in the material realm.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Is there Who can learn these void spell? These void.
Anyone with enough training and practice, I guess.
Yes. Anyone who knows of void magic, who knows how to cast void spells, can teach you them. He himself is not a mage, but he could, in time, learn a little bit, or at least enough to be, in order to teach you something. He can't read you. He's not telepathic, but he could teach you. But eventually, if you were to have him train a bit more into it, like say him having him train as a Eldritch Knight, he could probably send some letters back and forth from his tribe, as they're currently
Can we
trying to be
have?
situated into the material realm.
Can we have him be a? Can we have him be a void wizard?
No, I mean, yeah, kind of. It really depends.
Yeah, it would take a lot of training and someone also to train him. And that might be as
Yes,
well just see if you can pay someone to join our guild that's already a wizard of the void.
yes. He is a fighter, which means he can be an Eldritch Knight, and he also has a contact to his tribe, which means they could learn some void spells. But
Okay.
he would still be an Eldritch Knight. He wouldn't be able to,
And
teach you a lot.
yeah, and last time I checked, Eldritch Knights are okay, but then still like
I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not like good when it comes to being folk treating us when it comes to other spellcasters. Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's like if you want spellcasting, go half or full. 3/4 is what I like to call it. Is Eldritch Knight, I think, and that's really bad. It's not.
I believe.
Yes.
I believe there's a alternative set that makes it a half caster
I don't think
somewhere.
that's the case, but
That might
It,
be homebrew or some redux. I don't
yeah.
recall, but yeah, by the sounds of it, it would sound better than the third that is there for Eldritch Knight.
It is very much homebrew.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very
Well, it's
much.
like it takes all the third casters and makes them half.
That seems a bit. I don't know how I feel about that actually. That being said, he is willing to. Yeah. Yeah, though, here's the thing. I'm just gonna have to say no.
Oh, I'm agree.
Let's see. Oh, yes. He does know that certain priests, actually, certain types of. Oh, he knows that you call them priests. In his culture, he calls them. They would call them shamans that can pull power from the void itself.
The
But
void domain.
yes, he just doesn't recommend it because if you're not somebody who is of strong mind, or alternatively of, well, not of a type of peoples that have experience with it, generally not a good idea to try to approach that line of work or that study.
When you say strong of mind, do you mean intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence, charisma, and wisdom.
You gotta be
All
you gotta be strong.
Yeah,
So you gotta be strong.
535.
he would consider at least potent in some of them. Or at least that's what he knows from his people's experience with trying to teach, humans or elves or dwarves.
because my weakest link is my intelligence at a 14.
That might actually
With
be a benefit. Because if
would
you're not
actually
intelligent enough, because if you're strong enough of self and will, yeah, that'll cover up and likely prevent you from being turned into an absolute abomination against the gods.
I'm 535.
But let's see.
I don't think there's any further further questions, unless Vera has another.
What about this one?
We've gone through all three books.
Oh, also,
Alright.
We were just
I hope we can start talking about the voids of place and not the voids of thing. Sorry, I should point out just for the sake of things. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
I should point out just for the sake of transparency that I am actually out of my focus meditation, so
That's fine. Oh, he also asked that you, as long as you don't end up getting, don't even try to approach a tear in the void, because that might just be a void pool.
a void pool.
Yes.
It's
He asked if you
pool,
have you ever
it's
never
voids.
not necessarily. He asked if you've ever even encountered a void pool in your travels.
I don't believe we have.
All right. Essentially, they are. How do I put this? They are oozes influenced by the void itself.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Get it. Real sick and tired of this shit.
Yeah. Well, as I'll just repeat, void pools are essentially not elementals, oozes that have been influenced by the void itself. Here's an image of one. Nope. I probably could eat somebody playing Ryan Reynolds. They could probably eat Ryan Reynolds. They probably never find the remains. They definitely won't find the remains. But that's what a void pool looks like. It's not pleasant.
So they're void slimes.
Yes. And he generally doesn't recommend even remotely approaching them because voids and tears in the void look very similar to void to void pools. Same consistency, same textures, same feel, until they start moving.
Are they? Do they move on their own, or are they completely stationary?
They can move on their own unless they're watched, and they will know when they are watched.
So unless you were to attack it, there's no way to tell the difference.
Even if you were to attack it, there's no way to tell the difference. Unless you have prior experience with oozes.
What if you were to just stop looking for a while and then look back after a while to see if it moved?
Oh, then yeah, you'd probably be able to tell. Hello, Armored.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. How you doing? I heard about the ear infection.
It fucking sucks, but
Oh, yeah.
enough, enough, enough helps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jumping in.
We're just discussing void stuff. The one shot that me and Alex did the last week got us a void ally, and a void dragon.
Yep, well, Void Dragon
A Void
egg.
Dragon egg.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ooh.
yeah, but by the looks of it, the Void Dragon egg won't hatch until 20 years later.
Which there
Or
will
unless you
there
go through
will
some temporal anomaly, which is likely considering where you're going.
there will not be a temporal anomaly.
Regardless, I don't have any more. I don't have any questions about the void. Like I said, I was just like, I got a question, but it's not related to the void, so I'm just trying to avoid the void. Make sure you don't do this.
The only
Yes.
book that's left to discuss is the Void as
Yeah. A lot of things, suffice to say. And if any more questions regarding the void?
not about as an entity. I don't believe we touched on the Void as
As a what?
The void as an entity.
Okay.
Well, it's relatively simple. It doesn't care as long as you don't try to invade and convert any of its realm, but that doesn't mean it won't attempt to, spread the void itself.
So,
What about Void as a place? Did we go over? I believe we went over
Yeah, we
that.
already
It's
went
like
over void as a place,
it's located outside of the circle of realms.
as well as in between certain ones, as in the out, at least in between the outer realms as well.
Mm-hmm. Then
Why is
there's
there a
no
black pudding in birthday chat?
what?
Hmm?
A black pudding.
oh,
That's not a black pudding.
that's a void
That
slime.
no, that's a void slime.
Yeah, essentially.
But you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
a black pudding is a type of slime.
Oh,
They're very similar,
those
actually.
things are scary. Those things can get rid of magical items like that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, void slimes, they just existence go brr.
Yeah. Like, I have horror stories about black puddings. Like, level 20 characters to level 30 characters. Like, done in by a black pudding.
Yeah, those. I don't know how exactly nice those things would be inside the game. I'll probably look into it.
Oh, by the way, Tomb of Beasts 2 came out just now.
Yo,
Oh,
pod.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's actually the void pool is actually something that's from it.
Oh.
Ooh.
I hope to encounter one so I can
Study
Die
fight
it.
off.
horribly.
These void creatures are no joke, and
What?
I assume they're to encounter if you're not ready.
Well,
Oh, you
I
have
don't
no
know
idea.
I don't know if you know this, Alex, but every combat from Ante has been incredibly easy.
Yeah, that's because we're lucky that our DM prepares us before going into these fights usually. More
Sure.
or less.
Pre-
More or less.
prepare. Sure.
Well,
Prepares.
okay, Anti is a lot like Dark Souls.
Yeah, that kind of analogy kind of gets
No,
weird.
Andy's a lot more like Mario, honestly.
Yeah. I like Vocable's combats a lot better. At least I'm scared of losing my character.
Fair.
Well, I mean, except for those two mythic fights.
Oh no, the first mythic fight, Anti completely forgot about the layer actions, and I didn't get hurt once.
Well, that's because I was taking all the damage, and that was by design because I had its attention entirely focused on me. I went down to 1 hit point.
Yes, magically and supernaturally.
Yes, and
Oh.
I went down from like 166 HP plus 15 temp HP down to 1. I'm I'm part of the reason that you found that you didn't get hit once.
Didn't I was the only reason I got hit in the second encounter was because it was an AOE effect that was unavoidable.
All right, I am in.
Yeah. Again, I was also keeping a pretty tight grip on its focus.
Also true.
I am in.
Anyways, welcome back into the Roll20.
Thank you.
Let's see. So, if anyone would like to fill in armored.
If you disagree, I could try not doing that next time.
Maybe then I'll actually be scared of losing a character.
Okay. Guys, like, putting back into your pants. This ain't a dick measuring contest.
Yes. Anyways, that aside, let's see here. Ah, yes. So, if you guys want, you can update armored. Essentially, you guys have been given. Essentially, you've been given your own due to all the shit you've been pulling. Been given a your own guild, a subsidiary of the Seven Nobles, but still technically your own guild.
Yeah, we have our own guild, which means that we get to choose our own Acquisitions Incorporated pseudo class,
and also your name, the name of the subsidiary name of your guild.
Oh, that's.
Since I'm the newbie, I'm not going to I'll be a tiebreaker. How's that sound?
Well, no, you get your own. You get your own pseudo class.
Yeah.
Well, it's not pseudo. Your own position in the guild, in the group.
Yeah. If you look into resources on Discord really quick, if you can pull up Drive, that is Acquisition Incorporated. If you scroll down far enough, you'll start seeing the pseudo class.
Cartographer. Yeah, cartographer.
I am very up to date with. I'm very up to date with them.
Okay, so
with a game group, Acquisitions Inc. Yeah, well, this is the book that they released.
Yeah.
I'm up to date with the Acquisition Incorporated Team C.
The what?
Pretty much there's the main Acquisitions Incorporated. And then there's Team B.
And then there's Team C.
Yes.
Alright, so
they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love the noble Dragonborn. He is just a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when is he not?
So from the classes that have already been chosen, Alex is the hordes person, and I'm the documancer. Flutter has yet to choose, and you just got here.
I'm either that one that does all the research or the
Lore Master?
I think it was.
Lore Master or Secretarian?
It's either going. I think I know. It's either the Lore Master or the Obviator.
Obviator. That's the one with alchemy and stuff.
Obviator or the Lore Master or the Secretariat.
Well, seeing how you seem to care a lot about knowledge and recording that knowledge, it'd probably be Lore Mongerer for you.
I mean, she's doing a lot of alchemy stuff, and Obviator.
Yeah, the thing is, alchemy isn't my primary focus. I've only been doing that lately to do experiments to do my primary focus, which is seeking out new life and new civilizations, basically, and recording them.
Then I definitely think Lore Master then. Loremonger.
Who is the horde person?
That's Alex.
Yeah.
The Decision Mancer?
That's me.
Decisionist. No, you're the documancer.
Oh, the document.
Decisionist is also available as an option.
We have the horse person, the documancer, and the loremonger filled out.
Yes. Though, considering that it is now an odd total number of players, I don't think Decisionist is all that important, but if you still want to go for it, like, go ahead, mate.
It's a lot better when there's even people, but your vote counts for more. And whenever there's someone
You can also be a dick when it's an odd number.
Also true.
Yeah, true. So one of the best things about the decisionist is at later levels when there's someone missing from the party currently, like they're off, whatever. You get to roll. You get to decide for them.
Yes.
There's actually one thing I kind of want to be, and you guys would think it is kind of like the worst idea.
What?
The Secretarian.
What? Why do you want to be the Secretarian? That doesn't make.
Barbarian Secretarian. Oh god, it rhymes.
You get it.
There's also the Occultant as well.
Please
where you
be
tally
the
up
occult.
the debt, kills, and well.
That actually makes more sense. It makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have you be the occultant because that, like, keeping track of how many people you killed seems like your kind of character.
As well as distinguishing the value between the living and the dead.
Yeah.
And also recording times of death of your fellow party members, which may or may not happen.
Bring out your dead.
I'm not dead. Dead in a week.
No, just walks through the dungeon with a bell. Bring out your dead.
Oh god. Anyways.
He says he's not dead.
Oh, good news, you're not dead. Bad news, you're not dead. Just a horde of just mantis creatures just flying towards you. Anyways.
Laughs in death as I raise an axe.
So we have the occultant, the documancer, a hordes person, and a loremonger.
Yeah. So.
So where is our base of operation?
Your carriage.
Yeah, our carriage for now, because we don't exactly have, like, a building.
That's not until like level 3 and 4.
Yeah.
We start out as a kind of rickety gypsy cart.
Yeah, you've got the reputation for now, but you know, now that your company, now that you're your own official guild, you gotta prove yourselves.
Can we get the just on the side of our cart, the winking Jim Dark magic?
We'll decide on the name later until we can get, like...
Yeah. Or the name of your carriage, or if you want to make your carriage look fancier.
And this is also, like, we gotta name it something that our characters would solidly name it, not what you would name it necessarily.
Like Demon Hunters, Demon Scourge, that's... Actually, no, that's been taken. Scratch that.
Ghost Killers? Ghost Killers.
Also been taken. All Blood Hunter group. All Blood Gun led by a Blood Hunter.
What about the key finders?
That was originally taken by a bunch of by a guild that was eventually revealed to be a thieves guild.
Oh, so bad reputation.
Yeah. Now, unless you're okay with that, that's completely fine. That'll just be more of a challenge.
Well, we could actually say the unholy. Yeah, words.
The Silver Blade.
That actually works on a few kind of levels because don't we deal with like holy shit slash unholy
Most
shit?
Well, the Eldritch in general, yeah.
Eldritch in nature.
Yeah, we deal with more.
Which does include the unholy.
Well, we deal with more unnatural than unholy. Like, honestly.
Well, the unholy is unnatural to some, but yes, go off.
I'm saying like it's more unnatural than undead, essentially.
It's staring right in their. What's staring right in their face? Eldritch investigators.
I'm done.
The Eldritch investigators.
Yeah, that works. I'm fine with that. So yeah, with all this aside, I was gonna ask a question. Now I'm blanking. What the fuck?
It's fine. Take your time.
Oh yeah, I wanted to start do feat train. I wanted to start working on feat training to get the Grandmaster Craftsman, and I was wondering if I could have done that. Like if I'm doing that as I'm rolling for Brewmaster supplies whenever I'm making alcohol, or do I have to separately train that shit?
It would be separately.
Okay, so the question is, after I did the week of downtime essentially making alcohol, do I still have enough time to where I can spend that week to train that?
Yes.
Alright, so just roll my brewing supplies and train that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to at least get a start.
Oh, god damn it, Dad. My dad knows how much I don't like the Tea Party.
Oh.
So he sends me a lot of Tea Party shit.
Oh god. I mean, if you would ever have a daughter, I mean, hey, they could finally get their own first tea set. But for now, no.
Not that kind of Tea Party.
Oh, okay.
Not that kind.
Alright, so
the Tea Party.
He's talking about the political kind.
Yeah, we got that.
Which is pretty much built up of idiotic Americans who don't want to pay taxes and rich people.
I, for one, would not like to pay taxes, but I understand the need for them. So I'm okay with them.
So, how many days of training did I get? Because I don't know what the DC is. Because I rolled 7 times.
Alright. So, let's see.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. For what? Sorry. What? Let's see here.
Grandmaster Craftsman. It's. I should probably repost it so you can look at it.
That's 14 out of 28 because this is essentially expertise in a specific tool, which in this case will be distiller's tools.
Well, actually, it's not the Master Craftsman. It's the Grandmaster Craftsman. The step after Master Craftsman. One.
Oh, then still, yeah. Then it would still be 28.
Okay, so that's 14 out of 28. Okay.
So you're exactly halfway there.
Yeah.
You can start self-training if you'd like.
All right, so that's good because now I can do that on the road. That's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, that natural 20 did help.
Speaking of which, I wish to talk to our brewing friend.
Oh man.
But actually, almost forgot. You guys have because of Mast, 2 weeks and 2 days of downtime.
Ooh, yay.
Yeah, I'm working on a feat that allows exotic proficiencies. And Auntie, how much to purchase the items so I can train on the road with them?
For which exactly?
So the dragon great bow for one, the tempered leather, and there's two more. Let me hunt them down.
Well, you'd also okay, continue.
I want to purchase them, so when I'm on the road, I use them to train with.
All right. Well, you'll have to buy a dragon bow yourself, which, because of your sensitivity training, you're able to purchase.
Right. How much?
Let's see here. Well, you'll have to check the Craftsman's PDF for that.
I can pull that up really quick. Well,
I'm.
Yarg.
yeah, I'll do that for you, Matt, seeing how I know you're on the phone. Give me a moment.
Oh. Well, I gotta go there anyway to look up the other two I want the proficiency in.
Okay. Let's see. So, exotic range weapon, dragon great bow is 350 GP.
Only?
Yeah, for just straight up dragon bow, it's 350 GP.
Yeah. You would also have to purchase the ammunition for it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let me hunt that.
Yes.
Yeah, the hardened leather is 500 GP.
Oof.
I don't see any like specific cost for like the ammunition that the Great Dragon Book uses, but so I'm assuming it's using normal rules of for arrows.
It's great arrows.
Really, I don't see where. Oh, I see them. Okay, so it's a GP for a single one.
Oh Jesus.
So
God.
if you want to set up 20, it's gonna cost you 20 GP.
Yeah. You are able to fully retrieve them though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So each great arrow weighs 2 pounds.
Oof. That's a big oof.
Yep, that's a big effing shot there.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Yeah, and the next also got actually I'll just tell you who else comes next.
Oh, it's the Grim Scythe and oh
You have to purchase those for training.
yeah, I'll look up the other one and send it to you.
yeah. Alright, so the Grim Scythe is 200 GP. That's expensive.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's
good for what it is, though.
yeah, it uses it could use Dex or yeah. But
Hey,
seeing as
Andy, since you're by me, how much gold do I have?
Also, in general, your party received a pay raise for now being your own. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever we retrieve a key, we're gonna get paid a whole lot more.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
how much money did I get?
Oh, we didn't get anybody, so to speak. We're just talking about like.
Not yet.
We're talking.
Your character. I'll just say for his character, just joining now, 5,000.
Yeah.
Yes. So whenever we get a
Whenever you
artifact,
deliver one of the keys, you get 10,000 platinum.
He tosses his 5,000 to the young lady.
It's
to me. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
There's multiple lady player characters, so.
The one who wants to sight.
Oh my god, you're the only male character in the game.
Yes.
Damn it. Well, aside from Flint.
Yeah.
Well, Flint's not here right now. Even the like Abdul isn't here. Nolan isn't here right now.
Abdul is actually focusing on getting something.
So I'm not confused. You're giving it to Hajime or Noralai Griffin?
The one
it's
who
Hajime. Yeah, Hajime.
Okay.
Wait, I'm getting the 5,000?
Well, you're
Yep.
able. You could use some of it to buy shit.
No, he's giving her the bag of the 5,000.
Ah, okay.
Wait. Norlai's getting the 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh.
so like there was confusion.
No, Hajime.
Going back and forth.
I said the one who wants the site.
Oh, well, it only costs 500 GP, not 5,000 platinum.
Well, he's a fucking barbarian. What does he need? And he's a warforged. He doesn't really need food. He doesn't really need.
He could use it to invest in the carriage.
Yeah.
While everyone else is focusing on their own things.
Yeah.
Well, he's costing her. Okay. How's this? He goes down to pimp my carriage.
Unironically, nice.
No.
After I costing 500 over to Noralai. Not Noralai, Hajime.
Okay, so I get what you're doing now. So if I were to recommend war horses with horseshoes of speed,
that's the plan.
And then we could purchase like a grand, lavish, Doctor Who type, bigger on the inside, carriage.
Leave the carriage to me, my dude.
I got you.
So after tossing Hajime the 500 for that fucking scythe, he goes down to pimp my carriage.
Alright, so you have about, let's see if I'm reading it right. 4,000.
Okay, guys, date time. What race do you think Exhibit would be?
What?
What?
In Dungeons and Dragons, what race do you think Exhibit would be?
Exhibit?
Yeah. Because have you ever seen Pimp My Ride?
No, never. Definitely human, though. That's cop out just from me. Human.
No, I would say gnome.
I wonder why. Go aside.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You have spending cash of 4,950 platinum after I did math.
Well, he's tossing them that platinum.
Yeah, so essentially I'd be like, take this and make this better.
Well, I'll just say this. You'd have to PM me what you have in mind, and I will inform you of what is possible.
Correct?
No, I have not.
Okay, they have like this gothic. What can? Okay, what you would get is a gothic mixed with like lowrider with the neon.
I saw the animation for that. Oh shit! Huh.
That's what I'm going for.
Okay. I
like the look. No, and do you know what it screams to me, which I love? It does not scream edgy.
It speaks pimped.
Yes.
Oh god. Ironically, just why? Anyways.
And I then talk to the little brewer.
And that would be me.
Alright. That'll do you want anything else on it? Like portable tools? Like do you want to have every single tool available, or better or enhanced wheels to prevent it from being affected by non-magical difficult terrain, or what? I need specifics.
Yes, and yes, do like whatever that can max out the 4,000. Glad.
All right. I will I will. So okay.
Yeah,
Give me
maybe
a moment. I will post. I will show you the horrors that I have put in next week. Because God, why? Oh,
I can.
oh
because
dear.
Yeah.
because you have because I have a character that needs no need for food, sleep,
But do you have a
like
need for better weapons?
Also true, but yes. Yeah. What?
yes,
I'm
but his
confused.
weapons have gotten him through life, so he doesn't want to get rid of them.
Well, there's also a solid argument that you could keep the weapons, but you could always improve them.
Hey, they stood up well.
But that aside, I should ask how much would a +1 sword cost if I was to sell my +1 mace? Because essentially I'm upgrading.
+1 sword compared to a +1 mace.
Yeah, I'm selling.
I know it would definitely.
Yeah.
It would decrease the price you would have to pay for a +1 sword. That much I'm willing to tell you. Let me just pull up the +1, or at least what I'm using for the magic item stuff. Longsword or
Yeah, I'm straightening out my +1 mace for a +1 longsword because essentially I got proficiency in martial weapons. I'm gonna get a better martial. I'm gonna get a martial weapon.
give me a moment. Let's see here. +1 mace will run you down. It'll be sold for 50 gold pieces for a +1 mace. Let's see here. A +1 longsword will run you down 150 gold pieces, so it would decrease the amount you'd pay by to 100 gold pieces.
All right, I'll pay the man 10 flat and get my +1 longsword.
All right then.
So put the think, and then change that to.
All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to do? Oh,
Why do
sorry.
I imagine that the carriage dealers are like, all right, that's going to be a lot of platinum, bud. Like, just tosses down 4,000. Like, man.
Yeah, I'll just say he will have to consult his supervisor and his everyone else who works here, as well as probably every other carriage. I guess. Why do I say engineer? No, carriage maker in the city. Yeah, that I think that's perfect. Fine.
Yeah. So, like now I'm doing a D8 of damage to D6 whenever I attack, which is not good.
Well, D6 to D8.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, D6 D8.
D.
Better, much better.
Auntie, are these weapons and armor mastercrafted at all?
No,
Can
they're
I
just enchanted.
Yeah, you gotta.
can I can I spend the extra gold to have them mastercrafted?
I will just say no. You'd have to specifically meet a craftsman who's willing to do it. They just sell the weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And craftsmen, they generally travel. They very rarely stay in one place.
So I just have to meet one that's willing to mastercraft them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doable, but pain.
Yeah.
Okay. How?
Because some of the apprentice stuff can be very useful. If done right.
Johnny Brewer.
Yes.
But
You
yes.
know, your brew is strong, but it could be stronger.
That's illegal. I'm kidding. Not kind of. Kind of kidding.
Yeah, it is very true. I did make something really strong one time, but I kind of drank it and forgot how I made it. It was a good week.
There's an old drink I know of called root gut.
Root gut. Would Norla
Because
know
it
anything about this about gaming? Would that be
First things first. What was he? Sorry, can you continue, Armored?
Yeah.
He's saying
it is pure unadulterated alcohol
Yeah.
made from potatoes and grain.
I'd say you'd recognize the name. Called Rot Gut.
Yeah.
Illegal in most countries except for obviously Eritrea and actually here in the Iranian Union because it's often used for certain
Cleaning.
sermons and also cleaning and also weaponry, but
Yeah.
not
Norla.
always set aflame. Not always set aflame.
Yeah, Norla would make mention be like, yeah, I know of the stuff. I know how to make it, but man, is that stuff like would kill anyone that tries to drink it.
No, you know basic version. I know a version that can get even the strongest warrior drunk.
This isn't your normal Rot Gut. It's your advanced Rot Gut.
This could, and I'm not going to say this could get a dragon drunk. This got an old friend of mine drunk.
Alright, so what is your version that you know of that won't kill someone when ingesting it?
Just for the record, it's getting pretty late.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, I have wanted to do that right visit. What's his name? We'll do that next week.
Or you can PM me and I can. Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah, I actually got a call tonight as well. Even though I'm not working tomorrow, I also have a lot of chores. Good God, I have to. I actually now have to. It's about time I
wanted to make the
replace my bed sheets and stuff. It is now canon, and with that, I'm gonna have to call the session there. Also, I got Tomb of Beasts 2 just now, or because I pre-ordered it and all that.
Do you want to stop recording now?
Yes, please.